Oh, Jesus, are you fucking kidding me?
Here he comes, Jorge Rodriguez, he don't pay for his wheels.
No.
He's the talk show host, but only when he's taking a vacation. He wants to be a star, but Deal is still alive. He'd like to lead us, who would have to stay till 5. The hosting on a talk show can be dangerous work. From all the crap he has to take from assholes like you. Jorge Rodriguez, the Jorge Rodriguez Show. He works at radio, but that's okay. He's married, you know, a sexist Julio, but definitely not a homo. He's meticulously clean and proud to be uncircumcised. Jorge Rodriguez, the Jorge Rodriguez Show.
Why are you airing shit like this?
Celebration, and they're all out on the street. See them on the sidewalk, or we hear them shuffling feet. That's 20,000 assholes doing asshole promenade. Step aside, good people, there's the assholes on parade. We got the assholes for freedom, the assholes for fun, the assholes for Jesus, and the assholes for guns, assholes for justice, assholes for crime, assholes for assholes, assholes for all time. We got assholes making money, they're making all the rules, taking all our jobs, and they're filling up our schools. Assholes on the water, assholes in the sky, time that says help wanted, only assholes need to fly. Oh, teacher, won't you tell me if I really made the grade? Am I just my class, or am I just another asshole on the grade? Assholes get the orders, and assholes throw the boat. Assholes get elected, cause assholes get the vote. I once heard it said that old assholes never die. They just lay in bed and multiply. Assholes in the morning, assholes every night. Assholes to the left there, and assholes to the right. 20,000 assholes doing asshole promenade. Step aside, good people, with your assholes on parade.
.560 WQAM. This overhead's all screwed up. Even though I thought, no, don't touch it, because I tweaked it already because I knew that Rimmer had been in here. And so anything that goes wrong, it's going to be his fault today. With the exception of the phone system. We have a brand new phone system today.
Oh!
And we don't know how to use it yet. But that's okay, because at least we're in these studios. As long as we're in these studios, I'm comfy and happy. By the way, that song, I should have dedicated it up front. That goes out to all of our wonderful co-workers here at the wonderful WQAM. I had time to reflect over the weekend about that. about those events that transpired here on Friday, where some people were doing everything that they could to maintain a show, to make a show happen, in George Corso and Tree, running back and forth, running with extension cords, like something out of a cartoon. They'd run until they ran out of slack, and then boing, it would pull them onto their backs. They had the KISS van out front. They brought it down here. Hey, Sandy, how you doing? Oh, there's some beeping. I don't have any fart sounds. I have profanity. One moment, please. Okay, thank you. And a lot of people were scrambling, trying to keep the station on the air here on Friday, which there was absolutely no reason that the power should have gone off, except that, as George said, and I think he's right, we're in a bad neighborhood where they just don't care about the people who are in this neighborhood. Is that your assessment there, George? We're pretty, we're kind of in this gray area neighborhood here on 441. Dangerously close to Carroll City, and obviously a very low priority on Southern Bell. A block away, parties going on. Lights, cameras, action, parties. Here, we can't be bothered with you people. You're in the Schlepper building. You're in that low-rent district. So the power went off for no good reason because the hurricane hadn't even gotten here yet. Nothing had happened yet except the tree almost falling on Joe's car. But we lost power. We had battery power for a while. We were kind of on the air for 10 minutes, off for 20. On for another 10, off for another 20. How anybody stayed with us and kept listening through that, I'll never know, but somehow people did, because every time we opened the phone lines up, people were calling. If you'd like to call, just hang out and wait, because we don't know if the phone system works yet. Brand new, Windows-based Screen Win, a product of the Gettner people, who I hate. But we'll see. We'll see if I continue to hate them after using this software. I'll see how user-friendly this thing is tomorrow, when Neil will be back tomorrow. He's still sick. At least that's the story, and we're still sticking to it. So you're stuck with me again today. Not that you're stuck with me. You could actually go out and do something. Go clean your yard if you didn't do that over the weekend, like most of the rest of us did. We were okay except for all the flotsam and jetsam, the George Jetsam that floated up onto our front yard. The street in front of our house was a lake, so we weren't getting flooding inside the house, but every time a car would go past, obviously a very high ground clearance four-wheel drive or something like that. That's the only thing that could have possibly made it through. Well, we would get this wash of debris like you see on the beach after a storm. So we had about an 8-inch thick and 5-foot wide swath of debris in the front yard of our house. By the way, nobody call up with your boring hurricane stories except me. I'm the only one that gets to bore people with their boring hurricane stories. And how about those people getting electrocuted? That's sad. That's sad stuff. There were 3 kids, the 2 11-year-olds and like a 14-year-old, and then they were getting shocked. So the mom, and this is a dilemma because I have a kid and I don't know what I would do, because what are you going to do, stand there at the edge of the puddle and watch your kid die? Or are you going to go in and try to pull them out of the puddle? She opted for the second choice and she died. And that's sad. Now, there's no humor in that whatsoever. That's just one of those things where, the smart thing would have been to stay out of there, but how could you possibly stay out of a puddle if your kid is in there obviously dying? We agonize with those people. And I bring that up because while this thing was raging on Friday afternoon as it was getting closer, and it was a sucker punch, nature sucker punched us, and there was already this major flooding going on our street. There's a pounding on the door with the wind and rain and everything going on, by the way. And who is it? It's the neighborhood kids. It's the street urchins. They're banging on the door wanting to know if our child can go join them in playing in the sewer-infested, possibly down power lines, and if there aren't down power lines, there might be any minute now, giant puddle that is our street. And, we, as delicately as we could, we sent them home, or at least we told them that they should be going home. Where are their parents? Why are these kids running around sloshing through this sewage-infested backwash in the street? It's funky, it's nasty. Everybody has dogs. At the very least, there's going to be dog turds floating in that thing. And then there's the down power line thing. A lot of people killed because of that. You're going to, there's no good aspect. And I know I was raised white trash, so we always, whenever there was a big rain, we always went out and played in the puddles. But that was rural. I was out in farm country, which at the very least, everybody had a septic tank, and you didn't have these storm drains or anything like that. It was basically the people's yard or a dirt road or something like that. Still not a good idea because of the whole power line thing, and it's still not sanitary. But it ain't like the city streets where the storm drains are backing up into everything. So what are these parents thinking, or were they even around? Banging on the door. I mean, wind, rain, the trees, totally bent over sideways in our neighborhood. And the kids are running around, sloshing through the puddles, having a jolly old time. Barefoot, of course, so if there's any glass or, AIDS-ridden heroin needles or anything sticking in the street, floating down, they're stuck. Broken glass. So I don't know what these people are thinking. A lot of irresponsibility and a lot of kookiness going on in the wake of that hurricane. Is everybody out of your room yet, or is B still in there? Oh, hey, B, you're still doing what? I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Your microphone is not in program because of the Rimmer people. No. Try it again. No.
Now?
Now.
Hey!
There you go.
Unbelievable.
What's
Beast doing?
Beast
What's
can
the
hang.
situation? What would you like to know? I got all kinds of answers.
Do the phones work? How's that, for starters?
Sort of. I can screen calls and let you know that you have calls, but you won't know where they're from or what they...
well, then don't bother screaming them.
I won't scream.
Talk to them to make sure that they're not the gay Julio Club.
Right. Well, that's what we're going to do. And then
put
the
them,
screen you
just
have
put them on hold, and I'll just punch them up.
When there's an available
right.
call.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can shake the bugs out today before,
we're working
the big man, before the 900-pound gorilla gets in here tomorrow, so that he can enjoy the new phone system.
It's a pretty neat thing.
It looks glitzy.
Caller's disposition, happy, unhappy, don't care.
Right, we don't care. We've got a little message thing over here for the shows that don't talk to their producers on the air.
Sure thing.
Like the Rimmer Show.
And Beast is sitting in here because we had many, many problems over the weekend.
I'm sure.
He's helping sort them out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to rip you an ass for being a late-insky when we come back from the break. Don't talk to me during the break, because I hate you until the next segment where possibly you will justify your showing up at the very, very late time that you did after me calling you at 7:30. I don't want to hear anything off the air.
I'll prepare.
We're going to hash this out on the air because right now I hate you. It's 10:12 on 560 QAM.
Holy cow, Aaron's coming.
I treated you badly, I know that was wrong. Like a fish in the ocean, strung you along. Then I found out the joke was on me and not you. Please say it ain't over, won't you give me a clue? Blow me one little kiss. Won't you blow me just one little kiss? You could show me what true love is. If you blow me just one little kiss. Blow me one little kiss. Won't you blow me just one little kiss? True love is. Blow me just one little kiss.
1018-560 WQAM, so I called you at 7:30. Now, the only reason that I got a little bit of a wrinkle about this, don't go getting a face on, because you know I love you. What's in question here is your deep-seething hatred of me hanging me out to dry in a morning like this. Because, let me tell you what, first of all, what do you think would have been faster? For me to do all of the stuff that needed to be done in that room myself, or to teach Duff how to do it? What would have been faster?
I don't want to comment on that due to the fact that Duff is my employer.
It would have been faster for me to just do it. And, thank you. I mean, for the next time that you skate in at, 1 minute of, he'll be able to do the whole thing because he's fully trained now. All he needs to know how to do is screen calls, work the phone screener, and you don't even need to show up at all. How's that?
I've got personality.
I know you've got personality, and if it weren't for that, Creeper would be there. The Grim Reaper.
All right, are you ready
Would be
for
there.
the...
All right, so I call you at 7:30 now. Tell me first of all, you didn't just roll over and go back to sleep.
I didn't just roll over and go back to sleep. First of all, I dispute 7:30 because I had a clock right next to me, and of course, when I receive a call, it was more like
the latest.
7:45, 40.
No way. No way.
Then there's a discrepancy.
As a matter of fact, because I called you as soon as I hung up with the old man, he called me at like 7:28, and then I immediately picked up the phone and called you. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even call your house first because I knew that you would be at the girlfriend's, and I woke her up. She scares me. Don't let her answer the phone at 7:30 in the morning.
She scares me.
I'm telling you.
First of all, I think there may be a discrepancy with the clocks
Okay.
right off the bat because it was like 7 whatever.
What, did you have a plug-in analog clock or something over there?
No, it's a digital alarm type deal. So
Anyway.
instantaneously, hang up the phone. I'm actually excited. You're going to be doing the show. Good stuff.
Yeah. Pull the other one. Keep going.
So I get up. I take the dog out for a walk, which is mandatory.
Oh,
Man, the dog has got to go.
dude, I understand that, but you've got a crisis situation going here. Thank you, Beast. Beast is playing the Inviso violin.
He's great. You know, he's my producer on the Saturday morning motorsports show.
He's top notch. He's going to be replacing you the next time you come in here at 1 of 10.
You don't want your chair broke, do you?
You know what? We'll buy him his very own Beast chair. If he'll get in here at 9 at the latest, we'll get him his very own heavy-duty
You know where
wrought
the
iron
girlfriend
chair.
lives.
I know where the
Broward
girlfriend is. I
Boulevard.
figure a half hour to get from there to your house to do the shower thing.
At least, unfortunately, today
Easy.
I got caught by the slowest train, and there are people out there. There are people out there who will attest because the train caught like 5,000 people, and it wasn't one of these trains that just goes by. It was one of these trains that goes and starts slowing down and slower, and then it stops, and then it starts and whatever. So there was at least, 20, 25 minutes spent at the train, and that is the whole cause of it. I would have been here by 9:30. Train. That's it. I apologize profusely. Me, the conductor, the caboose
I felt
guy.
slighted. I hurt on the inside.
Well, I love you. There's
a
nothing
hole in my
personal
heart
about this, and I pained that I was going
I'm tearing up. And I thought of you last night because I couldn't sleep. I'll talk about this later. I had dinner last night with the Goldstein and the new Japanese girlfriend who I'm going to be talking about. And because normally I do very well with the dinner guests, especially if they're international. Like one of our friends, some Kraut friend of a friend, Dudley Do-Right has a Kraut friend, and he brought this Turk to dinner one night, and nobody was talking to the Turk because nobody knew what to say to this Turkish chick. And I'm a cosmopolitan kind of guy. I watch Discovery Channel. I watch National Geographic. I read the international news. So I pulled something out of my ass. I forget what. And we, and drummed up a conversation with the Turk and did very well. Nobody's like, who'd have known anything about Turkey? I knew something. Hey, Midnight Express, watch that movie. They really stab each other in the ass over there. How about that faggery in Turkey, huh? She knew all about it. We struck it right off. It was a hit. So he brings this Japanese girl over, and I'm thinking, I'm a Japophile. We were just talking about the samurai the other day. I love all those. I got Japanese history books in the bookcase.
bring up the rape of Nanking.
Total anime. No, I didn't, but you know what? I should have. I was leading up to that because I thought I was doing well because, my brother left me the whole big Jap anime collection, right?
So you buried thousands of Chinese alive, huh?
Wow. You're getting ahead of me because I'm trying to think of something. So I'm like, hey, we like anime over at our house. We have a really extensive collection. Oh, the Jap animation. Yeah. No, I don't like it. It's boring. I don't like it. Okay. Well, and then later on in the dinner she says, I'm sorry, my English, that's her name. Is sorry. So when she introduces herself, she says, I'm sorry. And I said, what did you do? We just got here.
Sorry or Sally?
Sorry. And but it's pronounced sorry in Anglic. So, and then later on she was saying that her English isn't so good. And I said, well, we would gladly speak Japanese with you, but all we know is how to count to 10 from, karate class, ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, ku, ju. Anyway, and, yes and no, hi, yeah. What, and from watching all those Toshiro Mifune movies, that's all you know. Hi. So I said karate, and she goes, oh, you take karate, yeah. And like my daughter's like, yeah, I used to take karate. We want to get back into it. She goes, oh, nobody in Japan takes karate. That's an American thing. Nobody in Japan takes karate. So I'm like, getting shot down. All my best attempts.
How about that bomb we dropped on
And that's
your...
exactly what I was going to say. Since I was bombing, I thought, hey, how about those nukes, huh? You guys got all those mutations worked out of your system yet, or do you still have 3-armed babies being born or something? I mean, I was really desperate. I was going to start and then I was going to lead up to the rape of Nanking. Like, hey, how about that mass slaughter? How about burying people alive there?
Didn't want to waste the ammo, so you buried them alive.
Buried people alive. But she's very nice, and I was very happy, and it was a good dinner. But then the dinner led up to something else. Larry's. Maybe I shouldn't mention their name. The food was adequate. I've had better lobster, and Al knows how to feed people lobster right. He ordered 2 lobsters for everyone, not the tails. The big old, big as your torso lobster and everything like that. But I think, and I don't, it's a fluky thing when you're dealing with seafood. It's a tricky thing. If it's not fresh, you're going to be into some trouble. And I thought that the fried conch appetizer smelled a little bit funky. You know how it is when you get fish and it's a little bit, I don't know, but I mean, I sampled individual pieces and they smelled okay and everything, and they tasted great. But then when I got home last night, oh yeah, all night long. I got 3 hours of sleep last night because of I had to keep getting up. As soon as I'd fall asleep, I had to get up and run back into the bathroom. And so since I was up all night, I was thinking of you.
Scary.
I was thinking of you, and I got you a present. See, this is why I'm so hurt this morning.
I think you're setting me up for some sort of negative...
You didn't come through for me this morning after I was up until like 3 in the morning last night thinking of you, searching the cyber waves for you, and I found something for you.
Anna Kournikova nude. Oh, that's perfect.
It's your picture. The Anna Kournikova in red, with the little red leggings and the little red skirt that's blown up so that you can see just a hint of the white panties underneath. And she's got her kami beret. It's actually kind of a reverse of a kami beret because it doesn't have a red star. It's a red beret with a white star. And there she is with her off-the-shoulder things. A nice, beautiful print, big as it can get on this page for your wall of Anna Kournikova.
For those people who don't know, Joe loves Anna Kournikova.
Joe is obsessed with Anna Kournikova, and he's got a tribute wall comprised, I guess, completely of pictures that I've actually provided for you.
With exception of the newspaper cutout where she looks like she's going to kiss Martina Hingis, and the autograph which Mark Vandermeer has provided.
So anyway, here's another, this could be the centerpiece now because this is the best one of all, I think.
I agree.
Liking red. And there you go. So anyway, so you didn't slight me this morning. You were caught by the train. I still think you're a slow, lackadaisical asshole, but nevertheless,
lackadaisical?
Nevertheless, life goes on, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do the show about today because instead of reading the newspaper, and I did read just a little bit of it, I was in there doing a training session this morning. And it's all your fault, and I hope you feel really, really bad about it.
I apologize profusely.
10:26 on 560 QAM. One moment, please. Is the shortcut pot up?
Yes, it is.
What are you trying to play?
The first team on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Okay, it's back to me. I don't have anything ready to go, so let's just continue. You were about to tell me a story. Forget it. We have
Jeff Rimmer.
We have openings. Well, that's a big, big club. That's bigger than AAA.
This board, for those people out there who don't know, the board is set one way. It's
right.
Completely erratic. It's not even opposite.
I have to say that I went and checked this board out, knowing that I was going to be in here today. But obviously I didn't think to check that board out because I was busy showing Duff how to insert slots
and I apologize.
Blah, blah, blah.
So Friday, you may remember we had power outages.
It was chaos. And once again, thank you to all of our wonderful coworkers who don't take what we do here seriously. And what we do is we try to keep people listening so that the sponsors who are paying hundreds of dollars per spot will get some response. And those are the people who were being dicked here on Friday by the people who were running around, A, not helping, B, actually hindering, which is unconscionable. Like I said at the beginning, I had a lot of time to reflect on the Hurricane Andrew event over at the wonderful Isle of Dreams. And I don't want to be one of these people where, I'm living in the past, but let me tell you what, that wouldn't have happened that way over there. There was a camaraderie over there when the crisis thing happened. And there's one good thing I'll say about the Japanese, by the way. Well, I got a lot I could say good about the Japanese. I like them a lot, generally speaking. They, they make cool swords and cool movies and cartoons. But when they had that earthquake, remember that horrible earthquake they had over there? Not only were there no reports of gouging and nobody taking advantage of anyone like we had over here whenever there's a crisis and during Andrew and whatnot, but the people were going out of their way to help each other. The store owners were actually fronting goods and stuff to the people and saying, "Oh, you pay when you get the money. You pay. You come back. You pay. If you don't, just take some water. Take anything like that." People coming together. The exact opposite of what was going on here on Friday, where people were kicking each other while they were down, while they were trying to do a job for the sponsors, who paid big bucks for spots that they're going to be built for on Friday, by the way, in spite of all the craziness that was going on. Yeah.
Well, I will say, first of all, I did receive some, hey, I didn't realize how serious the situation was, apologies, whatever. So,
I noticed that you were mending fences. I walked by and there was some fence mending going on with one individual, but there was a lot of people that were basically just being impediments and assholes, not to mention the people running up and down in the halls screaming, playing grab ass, which, I understand that then when there's a blackout, when there's a power outage, especially in an office building that doesn't have a whole lot of windows, it's a great time to play grab ass and run through the halls and hoop and holler and have some fun. Great. Do it on the office floor or do it on the other side of the building with the construction or something like that. Don't do it right outside an open studio door where obviously people are broadcasting. It is obvious that they're broadcasting because they're standing with their puss up against the microphone talking. That's how you know they're broadcasting, even though there are no on-the-air lights because there's no power and we're running off of an extension cord. All you assholes that were running around screaming. Go ahead.
So the power's out. Friday night has now gotten dark. Our game producer, Carlos Picari, who's a good friend of yours and mine.
Right, Carlos, and also a big anime fan.
And he's doing his normal thing. He picks up that Marlins game bat that we have, and he's just kind of walking around, swinging it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently the power outage caused the fire alarm to go off very briefly, and then it went off. So Carlos is walking around in the dark, swinging the bat, walking around, waiting for his shift to start.
That's probably not a good idea, though, swinging a bat in the dark.
Well, it's Carlos.
All right.
So he sees, hears some noises, sees some flashlights down the hall. So he's got the bat in his hand and he's walking. Walking down the hall towards the flashlight.
Wrong.
When he hears,
freeze,
drop the gun, asshole.
Freeze, motherfucker. Drop the. Right. Exactly.
Did I say drop the gun? I mean drop the bat. With guns drawn.
For those of you who don't know, Carlos is a dark-complected person. A large, dark-complected person. Menacing. Yeah. He's a cream puff, but we know him. If you didn't know him, you would draw your gun and say, drop whatever it is that you're holding, asshole.
Several weapons are pointed right at Carlos's head.
Right, exactly.
When he please turn into a blubbering baby. He dropped
Oh, please, don't shoot me.
I don't know anything. I didn't do it. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to.
I work here. Really, I work here. Look, here's my key card.
The police felt so bad.
Yes.
They brought him coffee and donuts.
Excellent. Probably right from the squad car, from their own personal supply that they carry around with them.
Just a little.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, if I had seen a flashlight, from around the corner, if I had seen the pattern of a flashlight from around the corner, I immediately would have tossed the bat aside because obviously that's who it's going to be. I mean, I'm just going to err on the side of caution. That's who it's going to be. I'm not going to think looters. They usually don't come equipped with mag lights, right? The looters, they just kind of come in and grab stuff. They can't be holding a flashlight. They need both hands to carry the TV out. That's funny. Was that the end of the story?
That's the end of it.
By the way, you have to, at frequent intervals, jiggle the mouse because the screensaver on this thing has not been disabled. So.
I just noticed.
Oh, so now this is what it's going to look like when there's a call? Is there a call on line one? Or
someone is attempting
to call
it.
And it's ringing. WQAM, fake show. Okay. Let's try this line. WQAM, fake show today.
Oh, George? George?
Yeah? I don't talk to people who can't say their R's. 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Should we take a break now and then maybe go into some calls when we come back? I mean, we could pick up right where we left off on Friday since we didn't get any response to anything that I was talking about, with the exception of Pokemon that I don't want to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. I already got the tips that I wanted off the air. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we'll take some calls and probably talk more about that short hair thing. I got another name for you. Looks like crap with the hair. Felicity. Had the long, beautiful hair, chopped it off. Looks like Looks like a Barbie that the little girl has taken the scissors to. Looks like crap now.
Haven't seen it.
She looks like a Q-tip now.
What about Jenny Garth, 90210?
No.
She looks pretty good.
Looks great looked better with the long hair. I don't care what you say. Beast knows. Beast knows his women. He's an expert. 24 till 11 on 560 WQAM.
This is Channel 10 forecaster Christine Van Blockland. Should a hurricane threaten South Florida, the Channel 10 storm tracking team keeps you informed and up to date. Right here on 560 QAM.
Why are the pretty ones always in sync?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rambo 4 and 5. How are you? John Rambo's still alive. I want to make movies 4 and 5. My life ain't going great. Planet Hollywood's broke. Unfortunately, I speak like I had a stroke. First blood came in 82. That's when I hurt my penis and it never ever grew. Rambo 2 was in 85 late. Rambo 3 was in 88. Shooting and looting and tooting. My gun. I did not make this movie with my son. His name is Sage. He was in Rocky 5 and Daylight, the tunnel movie. A little bit of cash is what I need. I gotta get a loan from Apollo Creed. I gotta have another hit movie or a Broadway show like Dennehy. I guess nobody ever saw Copland. It was stupid. I guess I understand. My whole life is about to cave in. All I got left is Jennifer Flavin. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to make Rambo 4 and 5. Check it out. So call me up. I really need a script. I can do dialogue or keep it zipped. I like comedy, action, adventure, and drama. The only thing I will not do is have sex with a llama. So give me a break, for goodness sake. I used to be on Oprah. Now I can't get on Ricky Lake. Right now I got a one-man show in Poughkeepsie. Basically, I'm an unemployed gypsy. A little bit of cash is what I need. I gotta get a loan from Apollo Creed. I gotta have another hit movie or a Broadway show like Dennehy. I guess nobody ever saw Copland. It was stupid, so I understand. My whole life's about to cave in. All I got left is Jennifer Flavin. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I need to make Rambo 4 and 5. How are you? Absolutely.
18 till 11, 560 WQAM. So we want to hear a lot of guys calling up and basically just agreeing with me today about the hair thing. Because I can't imagine any guy calling up, any straight male calling up and saying, oh, yeah, they look better with short hair. Even though, your girlfriend has a haircut, so you have to kind of say that. I understand that.
I don't have to do anything.
You have to do everything she says. As a matter of fact, she doesn't even have to say it. If you think it and she gives you a look, then you can't do that with her. Right?
No,
I can't. Oh man, you guys married? That would be so rich.
What did Neil say when he first saw us together? He says there's potential for
a very volatile relationship or something like that. Yeah, there's acid and a base or something like that.
If I rolled over like a bitch every single time, it wouldn't be volatile. It would be
volatile because she doesn't give an inch, and you're not going to take any, so it's going to be constantly.
That's fine. My point is, I'm not going to just say something to cover up. Around here I will.
Now I understand that because she's business. She's a business person. And if you're in business and if you're a gal on the move, as they say, you don't have time to be, where'd my thing go? You don't have time to with your hair every morning for the half hour, 45 minutes, an hour sometimes that it takes to deal with the hair. If you have long hair like the wife, big pain in the ass. Fortunately for her, she's not a businesswoman or she would have problems with it. You have to have it very, very conditioned all the time just so that you're able to brush that thing. Get a brush through it every morning. And forget about washing it. Washing it is an all-day thing. If somebody invites us to a barbecue or something and she says, I can't, I got to wash my hair, that's because really that's going to be an all-day project. Laying it out on the lawn to dry, things like that. It's a huge head of hair. But it looks good. And it looks good flowing in the breeze. And when we're standing there on the dock, and the breeze comes up and flows her hair, it looks like this big old cape. It's just great. Nothing looks better than that. A short little do doesn't look better than that. It's easier. It's easier to maintain, no question. And that's, if you're going to tell me that, I can accept that.
All I'm saying is that some women, and my girlfriend may or may not be one of them.
She's not.
You've seen the photo.
I saw them. She looks great with the long hair.
She looks great
Much
with
better.
the long hair.
But I can, if she were to say to me, it's a pain in the ass, I don't want to deal with it every day, that's okay. I can accept that. But don't sit there and try to tell me, oh, I like it better this way. It looks better. No, it doesn't. Not on anybody. It doesn't look better.
Linda Evangelista.
You know what? I don't even like her. She has a hideous nose. Long, short, whatever.
That's not the point. Whatever. I'm sure there's some people out there who are going to agree, disagree, whatever.
We might actually get a call on that today, possibly. We might get a call at all today. And if we don't, I have, since we're all Japanese intensive, I have some Japanese music that is kind of boring and weak, but we can play it anyway, just in honor of Sorry, Al Goldstein's new girlfriend. Hello, WQAM.
Hey, George, how you doing today?
All right.
Okay, first of all, the other day you were talking about asteroids destroying the Earth.
Yes.
Okay, when I called up and talked about the earthquake in California.
Yeah.
Okay, what made you say that the Earth is going to be destroyed that way, in that manner?
I didn't say that it would be. I'm just thinking that that's the biggest threat right now. We're overdue for an asteroid hit. It happens like once every 100,000 years on the average, and we're late. We're overdue for a big asteroid hit. There are 5,000 asteroids that we know of that cross Earth's orbit. It's
Did you ever hear of solar flares?
Yeah, I heard of solar flares. What about them?
Okay. What's going to happen is
we have Van Allen radiation belts. We have a magnetic shield against them. It's going to screw up the satellite reception for a while, but that's about it.
But the ozone layer has a lot to do with that. You know that, right?
No, not with solar flares.
Because you didn't know that they have a similarity with regard to penetrating the ozone.
Maybe. I mean, it's a radiation thing, but what about it? We have solar flares all the time.
Okay, but solar flares, because it's going to be more and more prevalent what we've done to the ozone.
What's the point of all of it?
Oh, what's the point that Armageddon is coming by the end?
Armageddon is coming. Okay. I'll meet you on the other side, all right, after the tribulation. I'm going to get all my stocks in order for the tribulation. I'm going to be hoarding water and all of that wonderful stuff, and I'll see you on the other side when the oceans boil and the moon turns to blood. Ooh, Armageddon, when the Russians attack Israel. What?
Nothing. We're just.
I know you two people are too busy yakking, doing your own show in there. See? You see how you are? Is this germane to what's going on here, Mr. Beast? Okay.
Yes.
QAM, hello.
Hey George, let's score a lid for the id.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Women see all of us as these dumb brutes who really don't know much about what's cool or what isn't.
That's right. They're mostly right.
But yeah, for the most part. But they don't realize how important hair is to the seasoned man.
What pisses me off is that they'll take the word, and no offense to our gay brothers out there. We love our gay brothers because they're gay, so they're not competing with us for women's attention. So, peace to the gay brothers out there, but with all due respect, they don't have the same feelings towards women as we do. They can't appreciate their beauty on the same level that we do.
Absolutely.
And they'll take their opinion over ours when it comes to hair and clothes. Now, they might have the best taste in the world as far as their own clothes and their own hair and interior design and gardening, etc., and so on, but they can't appreciate the beauty of a woman on the level that a straight man does, and I'll go to my grave saying that.
Absolutely. Like, for example, it's obvious what draws a man to a woman is breasts, ass, and face.
Right.
But there's...
Not necessarily in that order. There's different
not in that order, but then there's other little factors which are mad important, like I just said, hair. And feet. Sorry, Joe Costello. Feet.
Joe's out of this. You go away, Joe. The feet are very important because it's not like I have a foot fetish or something like that, but if the feet are nasty and gnarly, that's going to put a wrinkle in the relationship.
And that also is like a warning sign that the vag isn't doing too well either.
Yeah.
But, no. I mean, foot fetish, yeah, whatever, but they do look nice.
If they're gnarly, and also if they're unkempt. Like if the feet are dirty and gross and the toenails aren't cut and there's dirt under them or the paint is flaking away, basically, once every 2 months, you can turn the monitor down and turn the volume up on the TV. Put the TV in queue, Put M2 on.
Tell them not to be so thin-skinned, man.
And see, that's like the white trash thing, the dirty-toed white trash women, where they'll be beautiful. And as a matter of fact, when you look at their face and head, they usually are over-processed with the hair, the hairspray, too much makeup, too much hair stuff going on. And then as you get further away from the face, it starts to fall apart until finally you get to the feet, and all you have are these nasty, gnarly talons with dirt under the nails.
Yeah, you know what's the only form in which I can accept a woman with short hair? It's that short haircut, like the German dominatrix look. You know what I'm saying? Like black.
Bridget Nielsen, we have ways to make you talk, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
George,
it can look good. It can look good, but it doesn't look better. That's my point.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're used to seeing the same woman with long, flowing, beautiful, silky hair, and then from one day to the next it's chopped off, that's, you know what I'm saying? It's not too polite on the eyes.
No, it's not.
Well, George, I got my last half pound. I got to shred it up. Doing a great show, buddy.
Lucky you. I wish I had some for last night. My stomach was all in knots. I was running to the bathroom every 5 minutes. I couldn't get to sleep. For some reason, I was all, I don't know, keyed up. Not that I could get to sleep anyway, because as soon as I did, I had to get up and run to the bathroom again. I was not in a state where I could have drank anything, and all I had was beer and wine anyway. But I wasn't, that would have just messed things up even more so. And we were totally out of weed. And so that was bad. That's why it was much worse than it could have been last night. Although I did get to stay up and watch I, Claudius. Ever watch that? You should. It's history. It's Roman history. And you should know your own history, my Roman friend. It's all intrigue in the royal court of early Rome, starting with Augustus and ending with Claudius's death, and Caligula and Tiberius are in between there, and they show titty. So
I know about the aqueducts.
No, I know they don't talk about the aqueducts, but it's good stuff. It's good intrigue. There's murder and bloodshed. There's lots of decapitation going on, lots of suicide, people getting poisoned left and right. Last night, Messalina had a contest with the whore, the biggest whore in Rome, to see who could, Messalina was married to Claudius, the emperor, as a matter of fact, and they had a contest to see who could do the most men, an endurance contest, and the emperor's wife won, Messalina. So guess what he did?
He killed her.
He killed her! He was in love with her. Actually, his assistants while he was drunk and miserable about it, and they kind of slipped him the execution order and said, "Hey, sign here. This will take care of that bitch." And so he didn't exactly know what he was doing, but he knew it had to be done. He knew the next day. It's like, yeah, the bitch had to go. Her head needed to be on a spear over this thing. She was taking all of his loot, all of his statues and wealth and golden urns and dishes and whatnot, and moving them to her lover's house, moving him out of house and home. And then finally she married him, and all of Rome was celebrating and everything like that, and he was, the cuckold emperor, and they thought he would be deposed and everything, so he had to do this big power play, and he had a lot of people arrested, a lot of people killed, and that was a big tragic scene. But hey, we got to see her titties before they cut her head off, so you should see it. It's great.
Last night I was involved in New York Yankees game, and I know you don't, but
okay, so we have absolutely no calls, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, and that's kind of okay because the phone system doesn't exactly work, so it's kind of sort of screenless. And you didn't bring my Broke Down Palace CD, did you? Did you even look for it over the weekend? You are so failing left and right, because that's what I really wanted to get into today, is some of the tunes from there, as opposed to the Japanese music that we have, which isn't bad. It's just kind of, I don't know, like all that Japanese stuff. It's music to rake your sand garden, your rock garden, too. Music to have a tea ceremony by, as you sit in your garden and listen to the waterfall. And what do those geishas have in those little packs in their bag? Change of underwear? A snack? That's a pretty boring cut. There's some on here that actually have some drumming going on. WQAM, hello.
Hello, George. How are you?
Doing all right, sir.
You never told us how United Trapeze was.
We never went. That's yet
went.
to come on an undisclosed date.
I see.
So
well, let us know.
I will let you know.
The viewers are interested.
Okay, maybe Alan will call and let us know how his court date went, which was supposed to be October the 9th. The owner. the proprietor of Trapeze, and also give us an update about the other two people whose cases weren't dismissed. Inquiring minds want to know. QAM, hello. Hello, QAM. Call back when your phone works, sir. QAM, hello. Drowning. That's a flood joke there. The old man fared well. People are going, how did Neil do? Because there was a lot of flooding out there in the acres and everything. He did fine. WQAM, hello.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
When's Neil coming back?
Tomorrow, sir. At least that's the story, unless he calls us tomorrow morning. When Neil coming back? When Neil coming back? It's good practice today. You can practice getting a life. See how long you can make it. See how many hours you can make actually finding something to do except listening to the radio and touching yourself while the old man is here. I can't imagine. I'm going to have to leave town for maybe a month when he finally does retire, just because there's going to be mass suicides and some people might want to be taking people with them. It's going to be a scary, scary time. 4 till 11 on 560 WQAM.
Sports Radio 560 WQAM. Fort Lauderdale.
Estoy estrangulando el pollo para acá.
Come to me, my child. Do you need a ride? Certainly, I don't mind. I'll drive you home with me. You can trust me. I'm a priest. It's the least that I can do. I just want to be nice to you. Come closer to me, my son. Say, you're quite a handsome young man. Why don't you take your hand and feel my magic rules, and I'll be nice to you. Make my holy scepter as hard as an old church pew. But stay out of view. First, the next time they catch me with a young child, I'll have to resign. Or somewhere in Arizona, they'll transfer me. Oh, jeez. I think it's the police. Harry, keep your pants. And remember, please, if they should ask what I did with you, say, I was only being nice to you. Peace be with you, my son. God be with you, my child.
.1101 on 560 WQAM 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Please call and tell me what's up with this gay plot. I know all about it. See, I've got it figured out. The gay men, the fashion designers and the hair stylists, as they like to be called, want to turn men gay by uglifying women, or at the very least, make the women look like men. I talked before on another show about the fashion industry and how they like to uglify women. That's why they choose all these bean poles with no discernible hips or breasts or any kind of a figure whatsoever, as in tall, skinny, alien-looking, man-looking, asexual creatures. And all they are, by the way, are the canvas. They're the coat hanger for their art. See, all these people, like the designers and the hairstylists to another extent, they see the woman as just the canvas, or at best the frame for their work. It's about the clothes. It's not about making the women look good. It's about choosing women that are going to make their clothes look good, or as good as they can get, basically. And so when a woman goes in to get her hair cut, this screamer who's going to be taking the shears to her head isn't interested in making her look good. She's just the clay for the art that he is about to create on her head. And she is going to go out and sport the art do that's his creation. You understand? That's how it works. That's what's going on inside their head. I have telepathy. I eavesdropped on their thoughts. And that's what's going on. It has nothing to do with the woman except that she's going to be the bearer of his art. She's going to walk around showing off his masterpiece to the world. He's not doing something that's going to make her look good. His interest isn't in making her look good as she can get or better or anything like that, because if it was, they would just snip off the split ends, maybe do some shape to the end, maybe do some trimming around the face to frame the face really nicely, bangs, no bangs, do a nice layer job, do some nice blending, things like that. They wouldn't twist these women's arms into hacking all of their hair off. And that's what they do. And on these shows, and there was one show that was perfect. It was, Please Make Over My Slutty Teen, which is a great show because they had all these slutty teenagers come out in all their slutty wear. And yeah, they were all slutty and they definitely needed makeovers because they were trashy looking. But most of them, I would say 90% of them had really long hair. Not really long, like past their shoulders long. And so they had these two screamers, and I do mean screamers. They were anchored with lead bricks. They were spiked to the ground, or surely they would have burst through the ceiling. They wouldn't have floated. They would have shot through the ceiling like shot out of a cannon. They were flitting around the studio as it was. They were dragging the weights around. And they got a hold of these girls, and they all came out, and they were in tears at worst, or they were coming out with just these long faces of death, parts 1 and 2. They were just coming out like somebody had just killed their puppy right in front of their eyes. They came out, they were dressed in these just kind of square, tubular, and these were girls that we had just seen their figures because they were coming out in like hot pants, little short shorts, half shirts, things like tube tops. And they came out, first of all their hair was gone. All their hair was totally gone to, the longest was like maybe 2 to 3 inches above their shoulder was the longest due. All of the rest of them, the short on the back of the neck, which by the way is an ugly cut. The light bulb cut is the ugliest haircut in the world. The Q-tip cut, where it's short on the neck and then it's full on top. Do you know what I'm saying? That is the most grotesque cut that a woman can have. No one in the history of the world has ever looked good with that haircut, and it didn't matter what their face looked like. If you have a short back of the neck with a big boofy thing on top, you look like a freaking Q-tip. Okay? You look like an old lady. And that's what some of these girls had. And then their dresses were just these blocks. It looked like they took potato sacks and just cut holes in for the sleeves. They were just these straight blocky things, a lot of greens and browns. And then the shoes. And then the shoes, which of course they were all wearing, come me pumps. Before, they were putting them in these sensible suede earth shoes. Like lace up in the front, like higher on the front than they were in the back, so that they all look like lesbian school marms or something like that. They destroyed them, and that's exactly what they do every time. And every time they have one of these hair shows where they talk these women into cutting their hair in tears, with rivers of tears flowing, they come out and they look like crap. Almost invariably, maybe one of them will actually look okay, will actually, by accident, you throw enough crap in the air, some of it's going to come down on their head, and that's what it looked like. But maybe by accident, somebody will actually get a good haircut out of that whole thing. Maybe. You look like you want to say something.
Oh, no.
Okay. I got some more Japanese music. So, like I said, 5670560 and pound 560 on the free mobile line, which so far is just AT&T wireless. Hello, QAM.
Yes, George.
Yeah.
All these people calling wouldn't know where Neil is.
He's at home in bed.
Well, that's because your show, your topics, and your voice are extremely boring.
Okay, well, maybe you should go find a life today, sir. Maybe you should go find something to do in the middle of the day. Go clean your yard. Go rake your leaves. Go haul the debris off. Do something. Jesus Christ. Like, is there any other show, is there any other medium where you can call up and bitch at the guy? Like, if you find Letterman boring, call him up and tell him he's boring. You can't do that. But, hey, keep calling. I mean, what the hell? It only makes us feel better. That's how that works. Because no matter how stinking and sorry my life is, and no matter how much I suck on the radio, I'm still getting paid. So my life is great by comparison, because at least I'm not so sad that I'm calling radio shows and telling people that they're boring. How would you like to trade lives with that guy? QAM, hello. Hello, QAM.
Hello.
Hello.
George.
Yeah.
Yeah, comment about the hair, man. Basically, a woman with short hair can look very attractive, and I have to agree with you if her neck is a little bit long. A short neck
I'm
is
not saying that
nice.
they don't look good. They can't look good. It's just that it looks better longer.
Well, I would have to disagree because a woman with short hair with a nice neck, the neck is an erogenous zone.
But I'm not talking about like if it's short on the back and then like all over short. Do you know what I'm saying in proportion? I'm talking about that cut where it's short on the back and then all boofy on top.
Oh, I see what you're getting at.
You know,
I was thinking,
or long in the front and long on the top, but then short in the back of the neck.
Right, I
where
see
they
what
look
you're
like
saying.
they look like a light bulb.
Right, I'm thinking more like one length about chin level all the way around, where the neck is exposed.
Right, like the goth girl cut, where it's short in the back and the neck is exposed. And yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's an okay cut.
Right,
That can
yeah.
be okay. It's an okay cut.
Right, that was my only comment.
All right.
Thanks, George.
Thank you very much. We're talking hair today on the 560 WQAM Neil is Out Sick show. George destroys the show for one more day while Neil recuperates. You're coming back. QAM, hello.
Some onion rings.
Some onion rings?
Hey, George.
Hey.
I hate
that sounds good right now. Well, go ahead. Finish the order.
Thank you, dear. Okay, it's 5. I'm at Burger King, man. Okay, how you doing, George?
Doing all right.
I just had to call you, man. George, you're doing a good show, George. I've been listening to you guys for a long time. Don't let these morons get you down. You're really...
They're not going to get me down. They make us feel good. They make everybody here feel better because we're not them.
You know a lot of crap, George, because I listen to you, and you come up with all this stuff, and you're a real intelligent guy, man.
Oh, shucks.
These guys, they probably don't even know half of what you know. But anyways, I'm not sucking up to you. Hey, about women, I just got married, right, to a beautiful Spanish girl. She has long hair, dark skin. She's built. She's perfect. And now she has a baby with me. So in February, we're going to have our first son.
Mm-hmm.
So she's the short hair. No, don't get it. You know, not for me, man. I like that long brown,
long curly hair.
hair.
Nothing beats it. Nothing looks better.
Oh man, you know when you got a girl, you know, in bed and she, you know, you're with her and that hair is just flowing all over.
On top and it's sweeping your chest.
Even when they're doggy style, you have something to grab onto. But you know, it's like, hey, it's great. But I mean, those tall models on the runway, no, they're just, I don't know. Is that really true? What you're saying? That's why.
I swear to God, that's a plot. No one has defied that or denied that yet.
That's pretty, you know, it makes sense to me, but I'm definitely into a voluptuous woman, man. I'm an Italian guy. I'm Italian and Jewish, okay? And the last, 7 or 8 years, I dated this Puerto Rican girl that I met. I thought she was Italian, but she was Puerto Rican. And from then on, man, it was nothing but Spanish women because I love the look, you know.
That ass.
That ass, man. They're just beautiful. So,
right on.
Anyways, without saying the wrong words, Neil is out sick still?
Yeah.
Well, wait, do you watch football?
No, sir.
Not at all, huh?
Not at all.
The Dolphins are looking good, man. I want to say
whatever
something.
you say. Thanks for the call, but you can call the sports shows and share that with them. Don't speak that language. I know more Japanese than I know football. Talk about minimalist music here. There was a drum beat. Here's another one. There you go. See what I mean? This is a track. He's getting paid for this. Oh, there's another one. You've seen these guys on stage, right, with those big-ass drums? Oh, here we go. That was actually 2 beats in a row. This is Jorge Hirota. And I'm sure that if I had brought his name up during dinner, she would have said, Jorge Hirota, nah, we don't listen to that in Japan. That's American. He sucks. We hate that guy. 11:12 on 560 WQAM.
Tengo tanto pellejo que se perdió la punta.
Look at all the redneck girls, cut off certain hair and curls, going to the bar to get free drinks. Getting beat by redneck slobs like what you see each night on cops. They're what put the in country. Look at all the redneck sluts, eating lunch at Pizza Hut in their green sidewinder Walmart shorts. They smell like an old wet dog, their pickups rotting on the lawn and promising the Lord to breed some more. Somebody tell me why all trailer parks smell like candles, burnt tomato soup from hell. Nipple rings and belly tats and velvet Jesus welcome that. Her brother plays the banjo in a tree. Takes pride in her heritage and says incest is still the best foundation of a Christian family. Born again, they praise the Lord, and bang their neighbors when they're poor. What would Jerry Springer do without those redneck women who put the in country?
1118 560 WQAM 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line if you want to call up and tell me what's behind this gay plot to make women ugly and dykey looking and make them look like men. Or if you just want to call up and tell me I suck to make us all feel better about our lives, go right ahead, 5670560. Here's the last call, and then we're going to hear more Japanese music. Hello, QAM.
Hello, a great show. I want to let you know that I was having that same topic of discussion with my wife about 3 weeks ago, watching one of the runway shows, and I don't find anything attractive about the women. Every once in a while,
like maybe 1 out of 10.
Right, you said it. And a normal man normally does attach a body to the face, and a haircut, if you want to, I don't know about the light bulb, it look like more like a concentration camp type of look.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're onto something. You're absolutely right. And what I normally do is I've gone into stores and where they normally opt either Versace or some other wear, and I just tell them flat out I don't support any gay company or gay owner. I tell them flat out. I ban it. I tell them flat out.
That's not right. That's not right. I mean, that's all of it. I don't think there's any straight people making clothes.
You know something? I laugh along with my wife, and I tell that to the salesman, and they look at me like if I'm from Mars. But you know what? You have a choice. And I personally believe the main thing is pick a company that's good like Gap or these big corporations instead of picking
Gap. I like Calvin Klein, even though, well, he's married. He has a wife, you know, but I don't think he's fooling anybody.
Calvin Klein sounds good to me, but when it comes down to these guys like Versace, these guys, I'm not into that, believe it. And you know what? My money's not going out to that, and it's never going to be. And I just want to let you know you're doing a great job. And as a matter of fact, you came up with a good topic of discussion today. I hope you stay on forever.
Okay, forever until the end of the show today.
What would the heterosexual designer's fashion look like?
See, it wouldn't change much.
Oh,
it would look like the one-sided toga with the one breast exposed.
Exactly. You would have the women out there naked. It would be the minimalistic look.
That's not true. That's not true. I thought about that, and for the sake of humor, yes, obviously we would dress them scantily. But you know what? And I played that redneck girl thing because one of my favorite outfits, and this is going to make people hold their guts and double over, but one of my favorite outfits for a woman, should I wait until you're done with the beast there, is the blue jean T-shirt. Blue jeans, T-shirts, and then tennis shoes or hiking shoes, or bare feet with dirty toes. Blue jeans and a T-shirt. What's wrong? I'm not for going out, obviously, but you know what? If all the women had were two ensembles, every day, just some sort of jeans and a shirt, jeans and a blouse, I gave that to you because I don't want you using my fat permanent markers for taking notes, you asshole. The big fat Sharpies that dry out in 2 seconds. You're using those for making like mailing labels and things like that, or drawing mustaches on people that are sleeping. Because it's permanent.
Corporation like this, and you're hoarding a $1 Sharpie.
I'm not hoarding it. Well, see, because we have to acquire our own office equipment. I mean, office supplies here on this show. Well, I'm not going to go down and get them out of the supply closet.
Good point.
I'm scared. Talk about being scared of your girlfriend. But the jeans and the T-shirt, and then as far as the evening wear or the nighttime wear went, I actually like long skirts, slit or no slit. I like, for the same reason that I like the hair flowing in the breeze and everything, I think that a nice long skirt that's nice and loose and billowy, when the woman's walking, especially if it's a fast walk, that's a cool effect.
Well, the T-shirt thing, it's because the Montana.
Because I'm a redneck, all right, redneck lifestyle, right. I understand that. But you know what? Isn't that good enough? Isn't that enough? Jeans and a T-shirt.
Enough for what?
Enough for you. How much more do you need? What do you want?
I like the...
all right, in the city you got to wear work clothes. What?
The miniskirt.
I like the mini skirt. I like them. Mini skirts are impractical. I like them. I'm not dissing the mini skirt.
Ally McVeal wears them all the time. She seems to do just fine.
Don't bring Ally McVeal up to me. Talk about a non-sexual creature.
How about
a tree
skirt
frog?
With some thigh-high stockings that every now and again you just get a peek of the top of the thigh?
I like the mini skirts a lot, but let's face it. All right, the mini skirts are impractical unless you don't care if people are going to see your underwear. You put some nice underwear on, If you don't care that people are going to see them, I assume that there could be nothing more comfortable in the world than a miniskirt. I'm just guessing, not having worn very many myself. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Florida in the summer. Wouldn't you like to just be able to feel the breeze blowing up the crack of your ass in Florida in the summer when you're outside? Because let's face it, jeans are hot. Especially, and you wear corduroy.
Love corduroy.
It's
Your
nice.
idea of hair and clothes are exactly opposite. For instance, long hair looks better, blah, blah, blah. Short hair is more convenient, whatever. Well, jeans and a T-shirt are obviously more convenient, and
right?
But they look
That's
crappy.
the opposite. They don't look crappy.
They look good. You're all over the
Dude, Shannon was in here on, what was it, Thursday or Friday, wearing those jeans with the tattered top, the kind of baggy.
Yeah.
That didn't look good to you.
It looked good, and if she was wearing a dress or a nice skirt, she'd look better.
Okay, but you can't always, you know.
Same thing with the hair.
But see, changing clothes, there you go. 5 minutes, changing clothes. Hair takes a long time to grow back once you cut it. It's gone for a year, 2 years. Some of these women on these shows, when they cut their hair, they've been growing their hair for 10, 20 years, some of them. The wife, her hair is a lifetime thing. Since she was like a preteen, she was growing her hair out because it takes a lot of maintenance because, you know, it splits, it tears, it rats. You got to keep the ends trimmed. Getting a good length of hair going is an accomplishment. It's no mean feat. WQAM, hello. Hello, QAM.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
How are you?
Well.
Listen, I totally agree with you, except for there's one exception, and that's Demi Moore in the show.
Ooh, no, man. Didn't you see the pictures of her with long hair?
No, she was much harder with it. With
the G.I. Jane with her bald head?
Definitely.
Ugh.
Definitely.
Okay.
All righty.
I got you down. But, God, with the buzz cut, the G.I. Jane buzz cut, she looked, I mean, I'm not a big Demi Moore fan anyway, but since he brought her up. And also, by the way, long hair forgives a lot. Like, you can be ugly, especially since I'm a nose person. You can have a big old schnoz, a big old honker. And if you have a big old long mane of hair, nobody's going to even notice your nose. Weak chin, droopy eyes, whatever kind of little flaws a woman's face might have. If she has long-ass, billowy, flowy hair, you really don't even notice those little flaws. It forgives much on the woman if they have long hair. Don't you think?
Oh.
If they have short hair, all of a sudden, bang, the face is right out at you. The face is right there. There's nothing else to look at except the face. And if they have a big old nose, what?
Isn't the face most important?
The face is most important. The face is most important. Women, forget what you've heard about the guys with, you know, yes, we like ass, yes, we like boobs, whatever, but the face is 90% of the total score right there. The face is most important. But if they have a big old schnoz, and, you know, and God help them if they do, and they have short hair, that's it. That's all you see is the nose. They're all nose. You don't see any other part of them. You don't see their boobs. They could have double D's, and if they have a big old schnoz, it's like, oh my God, what the hell is that thing? Get that thing away from me. Do you sound a horn when you come about? I mean, that's a dangerous instrument right there. 11:26 on 560 WQAM.
Speak, Joe, speak.
Have you ever had the run and they become known as the Hershey Squirt?
Yes.
Around the pole and under the sea, the kind that makes your ass really scream. You do the green apple quick step, that's when you try to hold it in and start dancing around. Hershey Squirt, the human diarrhea splatter bomb.
11:30, 560 WQAM. On a related note, do people, I guess you fart in your sleep, right? Do you know? I mean, that's like snoring. How do you know? Because last night I wake up because I had to go to the bathroom. But if I had, I mean, I don't want to get too graphic, but it was like liquid, okay? If I had farted, I would have been blowing bubbles in bed. So how does the body know? How does the mind know? Instead of letting it go, it rang the bell in my head. Do you know what I'm saying? Check the sheets this morning. Everything's, you know, wonderful. Twice. Besides right before I went to bed, but then twice more. Full asleep. I'm full asleep. And all of a sudden, ding, 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 got to get up, got to go to the bathroom. And when you get there, squirt, squirt. So how does the mind know?
The body knows the incredibly embarrassing ordeal it would be to have to clean up.
I guess. I don't know. That's the weird thing because, I mean, I know I fart in my sleep. I mean, you just got to.
You do because it's okay.
Because it's okay.
Because you know your body goes through a whole process.
But, I mean, that's...
Is this going to be a wet one? No. Okay, go ahead.
It feels like you have to fart. But then when you... Right before you actually let it pass, you know. When you're conscious, you know. But how do you know when you're unconscious? How does your body know that? I mean, thank God that your body knows that. QAM, hello.
Morning, George.
Morning.
Listen, you've got to learn to accept compliments.
No. Because compliments aren't material. And if the people want to help me out, they will call up with material, not blow sunshine at my ass.
Okay, I understand that point.
That would help me. If you like me, call up with some material. Don't call up and tell me that I'm doing a good job, because that's not going to help.
Okay.
Okay.
I usually don't agree with your point of view, but this time you are so absolutely right.
About the
hair.
Okay.
I've been making that argument my entire life.
Because, and let me just guess here, you're a straight man.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, that's why.
And not only that, I've taught all kinds of grades from elementary school to high school to adults, and the majority of men agree with you and me.
Of course. It's beautiful. Long hair is beautiful if it's, taken care of course.
Oh, absolutely. And there's so much you can do with hair.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
It is work.
But
I understand that. That's why I said at the beginning, if you're going to tell me that you don't want to mess with it because you're too busy, you're on the move, okay, I can accept that. My point is people, and you hear it every day. Oh, I think she looks so much better with her short hair.
No
one does.
Well, most people do not. There may be some rare exceptions, like if you don't have real pretty hair, if you got hair that's very difficult to deal with.
I'll accept that. Right. If you got like a big, that kind of frizzy Rosanna Dana kind of stuff, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And, I have seen girls aren't that pretty, skinny, raunchy looking, but they got that beautiful, flowing, massive hair.
Right.
And it's like you said, it's very forgiving.
It's right. It brings you up like 2 or 3 points at least.
Oh, absolutely. I've gone to clubs and I've seen girls, and in the night people look a lot better than the daytime.
Yeah.
And you see them with nice makeup and nice high heels and a nice dress and that awesome hair. But if you were to take them apart, you realize it'll look good. But that hair is
the hair.
That crowning piece of achievement that puts the finishing touch on a beautiful woman.
And it is an achievement because it is work. It's an accomplishment.
Yeah, but, once in a while you're going to find a men that don't agree with us. But I think most men are in the same corner you and I are in.
I think so.
Keep up the good job.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's a gay plot. That's my thing. This is really crappy because since we don't have any screen hold or anything like that, I actually have to do math. I actually have to look over here on the screen and see who's been holding the longest. Use the greater than, less than system. QAM, hello.
Hello, George. How you doing today?
All right, sir.
Now I might be with the long hair bit, but I'm also with the short hair, because there are some times when there are some women that actually look awesome with short hair.
But the point is that if you look good with short hair, you'll look better with long hair.
Well, that may be true.
That's my point. That's my issue. That's my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sticking to it.
Well, it's just that my opinion is that sometimes it depends on the woman. Largely, it depends on the woman. Because sometimes,
I don't know anybody that looks better with short hair than they would with long hair. Unless, like the previous caller said, their hair is just, it's a gnarly hair. Frizzy, gnarly, going all over the place kind of hair, brittle, they can't do a thing with it, that kind of thing.
Or basically, they just don't have the time.
Well, again, I excused everybody for having the time. I'm just talking about what looks better, not what's easiest. I understand.
I understand. I understand, and I'm for long hair, but I'm also for the other side as well.
You have to come in here, Joe. You just have to come in here, because you can't get this on cable. Thank you very much, sir. Because here's a perfect example. And by the way, here's some shape. Look at her going up the stairs. You should see when she turns around, because I'm watching Telemundo right now, and unfortunately, you don't have that on your cable. And if she turns around and you can see the cleavage shot, anyway, all right, you can go back in your own room now. There was a perfect example because the hair was about to the middle of the back. What would you say? Definitely about a foot past the shoulders. And it was just flowing and beautiful, but I don't like the straight block chop across the back.
That was gorgeous, right?
That was so shapely and voluptuous. I love the Spanish soap operas with the volume down because I have no idea what the plot. The women are great and they blow people up and stab people and kill people and set people on fire. At least once a week, one of those things happens. What?
How long is too long?
When it drags on the floor. Because
so
that's
2
dirty.
inches off the floor is better than 5 inches off the floor.
You know what? At that point, when it starts getting past the belt, it's kind of like, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because, these like that was pretty long hair that we just saw. It was middle of the back. And it
Middle
was
of the
great.
back.
But the Jennifer Aniston cuts that are to here and stuff, they're
I can barely hear you, man.
good stuff.
Is your mic,
Well, I don't want to be loud.
Put it up to like the 10.
That's where it is.
Okay. All right, then just sound off like you have a pair.
So Jennifer Aniston, that's a good hair length. It's not too long.
That's okay. You know what? If she chopped all her hair off, there's a good example, and got this little pixie cut, would she look as good?
No.
No.
Courtney Cox would.
No. First of all, she's just a skinny beanpole, nothing anyway. QAM, hello.
How you doing, George?
All right.
I didn't have anything about hair. I just don't
Well,
care
whatever,
about
man. It's wide open.
Okay, I just have a couple of items
state
from
of things.
yesterday's paper, Sun Sentinel paper.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'll give you the heading. It was Report Target Student Race Gap. And this is a compiled report over decades it took to compile this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a couple of items I wrote down here. I could read them off verbatim if you wish.
I don't care.
They're kind of interesting. I think it's...
Can you summarize really quickly?
All right.
What's the point? Boil it down to a point.
Well, it's in
That's
essence,
the thing
it's
about the
saying,
blacks and Hispanics don't do as good as Anglos, white Anglos?
right, and
Yeah.
regardless of their their parents'
Uh-huh.
financial status or whatever, it's just the underachievement of it all,
Uh-huh.
and that's roughly about it. And and on the other side, on the flip the coin, NAACP. What do you think of that group? They've done a little bonehead maneuver, I believe, regarding South Carolina.
With what?
It comes to head the beginning of next year in January.
What are they doing?
They're going to boycott South Carolina because of their stance about the rebel flags they're waving.
So boycott is the nicest, most peaceful thing that you can do to express your distaste over something.
Right.
It's not violent. I use the boycott principle every day of my life. I steer my dollars towards or away from things that I like or don't like for a variety of reasons. I'm all for that. Normally, I've been a big fan of Kwesi Mfume, the president of the NAACP. He did not endorse the Farrakhan Million Man March scam, and they have every right to be offended by that flag.
He's just a big demagogue anyway.
Well, whatever, but they have every right to be offended by that flag, and if they don't want to spend their money in a place that's flying a racist icon, then that's their prerogative.
But I'm just hypothetical. I mean, I'm not introducing myself as a racist at all.
No, I understand.
I mean,
we did a show. We did a rebel flag show here, and a lot of people called up and explained what they felt that the rebel flag meant to them and why they fly it from their antenna or have the plate on the front of their pick-em-up truck with the rebel flag on it. And I appreciate that's how they feel about that symbol. But the bottom line is that for most other people, besides the people that were calling in and the people like them, for most other people, it is a symbol of a bad idea and of a racist system, and it offends people.
Right. But on the other hand, do you see it not backfiring in the simple fact that if the NAACP is voicing that it should be boycotted, the entire state, do you see that as a racist maneuver on the other side for blacks to, okay, they're not going to be in South Carolina, so whites in general, maybe the purest of them all, might say, hey, let's go to South Carolina. There's not going to be that many blacks. Hey, we don't have to worry.
There's a lot of black people in South Carolina. I hate to break
right,
news
that live there anyway.
Right, yeah.
But,
Chris Rock's from there.
But it won't be an influx at all. They're saying estimating $280 million will be lost if this was to take actuality and go into actuality.
Right.
But I don't know.
So what's the point?
I disagree that the flag has represented maybe for the good or the bad, at least a part of American history.
There was nothing. What good came from the Civil War, sir? Besides those cool submarines and the ironclad. What was it a good idea or a bad idea for the South to start shooting at the northern fort? Was it a good idea or a bad idea?
I wasn't alive then.
You weren't alive. You can't read a history book.
I can't. There was a lot of
hundreds of thousands of Americans died fighting each other. Was that a good idea or a bad idea?
Brothers fighting brothers is bad.
Bad idea. Thank you very much. And that flag represents that very, very bad idea. A war was fought because some people thought it was a good idea to own other people, and some other people thought that it wasn't, and they started it. Okay? The Southern people started it because of what they thought the North might do. Because they were afraid that the North might do something that they wouldn't like, they started it. It was a bad idea. That flag belongs in museums. If you're flying it, to most people, it stands for some stupid rednecks pulling off what they thought was a good idea at the time, and it turned out to be a bad idea. It was bad for everybody, and mostly it was a bad idea for the South. The South has yet to recover from the onslaught, from the backwash of that war. 18 till 12, 560 WQAM.
So I'm hungry.
To my cousin I was warming, our jeans they are deforming, my face looks like it was just hit by a truck. My daddy Bubba Finn, he married next of kin. Then out we came without much brains, green teeth and all. We're talking inbred. I love to drink that moonshine. We're talking inbred. I'm marrying my own kind, living in a shack right down the road. My brain cells, they're squirming like a toad. We're talking inbred. This song is really sick. My clothes have lots of creases. I sleep with all my nieces. I have just a room temperature IQ. Don't say I've got no class, or I'll kick you in the ass. Don't insult my sister or my mother, or I'll call my dad, who is my brother. We're talking inbred. Our names are Bubba and Freddie. We're talking inbred. Look, cousin Betty is in a teddy. Come down our road and we'll tie you to a tree. Deliverance was modeled after me. We're talking inbred. This song is really sick. So sick, so sick, so sick. We're talking inbred. This song is really sick. So sick, so sick, so sick. We're talking inbred. This song is really sick. So sick, so sick, so sick. We're talking
12 till 12, 560 WQM. Come in, blogs, right over here, the Sentinel Lifestyle section. So anyway, I played that in honor of that guy there. And here's the bottom line with this whole Confederate flag thing, and I don't want to spend too much time on it unless anybody wants to. In America, since we are a culture of many different cultures, and we're supposedly trying to get together in a melting pot, and we should all be on the same page, right? Wouldn't that be a good, desirable thing? Nobody's going anywhere, right? I know the rednecks would like all the black people to leave and go back to Africa. Is that going to happen anytime soon?
No.
In our lifetime?
No.
Ever?
No.
In a million years?
No.
No. Of course not. Is anyone going away? Is anyone going back to where they came from, including them, by the way? Anyone? Is anyone leaving, Joe?
The Cubans?
No. No. Anyone? The Italians?
No.
The Irish?
Nobody.
No one is
staying
leaving.
Here.
We're staying here. Now, would it be a good idea or a bad idea if we should learn to get along with each other and tolerate each other? And would that be a good idea?
Just like those Japanese, yeah.
Just like those Japanese. Now, they're one culture, so obviously they can get together just fine, but we're a whole bunch of different cultures. Anglos, Protestants, Catholics, Jews, Spics, Hicks, and then, of course, the black people that are very offended by this flag, and rightly so. They have every right to be offended by this flag because, and again, it means different things to different people. I understand that. But if you, all right, Joe, let's pretend you're a whitey. Let's just pretend.
All right.
That, you're not a WAP, that you're a white person. Do you want the black man fighting you, resisting you, opposing you at every turn, or do you want the black man with you, on the same page as you, supporting the same things that you support, pulling in the same direction, rowing in the same direction as you? Which What do you prefer?
Rowing in the same direction.
Right. Now, you want the black man to rally around your redneck, racist piece of crap flag? He's not going to do it. Why don't we all agree on an icon, if you're going to have an icon, if you're going to have a flag, a symbol, whatever, why don't we just agree on one that doesn't offend anybody? I say the one that we have is perfectly fine. 50 stars for the 50 states, right? 13 stripes for the colonies, because that's how it all started. You know, and the only people that can offend is the Indians, because after all, those 13 colonies was the beginning of the end for them. Assuming that we pay them off by letting them do whatever they want on their own land, which we should do, cheap booze and cigarettes and gambling, whatever the hell they want to do it. You know, we crowded them into the deserts. Their land is crap. The land that they wound up with on the reservations is crap. I've been through several. There is no such thing as a good, nice reservation, with the exception of the Cherokee Reservation in North Carolina. But then, of course, most of them were displaced, Trail of Tears, yada, yada. Thousands died, Trail of Tears. A lot of Indians died. I'm not making fun of that. But nevertheless, why can't we just agree on an icon? Everyone can get behind it. We stop all the fighting, white against black. Do you know what I'm saying? It ain't that big a deal.
Can you name one group of people, just one group, Jew, black, white, redneck, whatever, that feels the same way you do, that thinks we should just all work together?
No, but
I don't think you can.
I think that that's a desirable thing. I think that that's something that we can, at least, not everybody's going to agree with that. But
black people don't want what you just
You racist son of a bitch, you.
Jewish people don't want what you said.
You racist son of a bitch, you. You know what?
Italian people don't want what you just said.
The black people that I know and the Jewish people I know, they do want that. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of black people that have no desire to be a part of the melting pot. No question about it. You know what? I don't know any of those people. I see them on the news rioting and burning up their own neighborhoods, or sitting on a milk crate sucking malt liquor out of a paper bag. I see that. They have no desire to be a part of the world that's going on around them, and that's fine. You know what? They'll die. Evolution will take care of that. All we have to do is stop cutting them a welfare check. That will sort itself out. The black people that I know that are my coworkers and have been throughout my life, they don't want to share their paycheck with those people either. They want the same things that we want. Okay, and those are the only people that I'm talking about. And those are the people, by the way, that are offended by what's going on with this Confederate flag thing.
Who are in the vast minority. And when it comes to white people like you and I, who are also offended, we are in the minority.
I don't believe that the majority of black people are the dirtbags that I was just talking about. I think they're the minority. It's just the city's perception thing that you have.
I'm not
because
saying
they're all
just
crowded
black.
together in a
I'm saying
convenient group.
dirtbags are the majority.
Oh,
the majority of people in the world, in this country, the majority are dirtbags.
Well, let's
don't care to do things to advance us or be positive.
I have an answer for that. I have an answer for everything, since I know everything, of course. All you have to do is stop feeding them, and they will. One of two things will happen to the dirtbags. They will change and stop being dirtbags, because the alternative is to starve, and some of them will starve. Or some of them will resort to crime, at which point we will put them to death in the arena for our pleasure.
You're an example. You're a good guy. You're a hard worker. How many children do you have?
One.
Now, if you were a scumbag, if you had no education, you'd have 100. That's where the problem.
But they also die. Their birth rate is high, but also their death rate is high. QAM, hello. Hello, QAM.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing well, ma'am.
How short is too short for the hair?
It's a relative thing. Longer is better. Shorter is not as good. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
In other words, you should have your hair as long as you can have it, as long as you can stand to have it. Obviously, some people's lifestyles are such that long hair is a big pain in the ass for them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I used to have really long hair too, and it was a pain in the ass. I'm glad I cut it.
It is a lot of work. But
it is a lot of work.
I know a lot of women, though, who have really nice hair that's short, and you have to take the time to make it look like something with short too. You know, I mean, it's work either way, long, short.
Right.
Because I know a beautiful woman who had long hair, short now, and it looks just as nice because she takes the time.
I'll take your word for it. I'm just saying for my part, and I've seen a lot of women get haircuts that had long, beautiful hair, and I have yet to see a woman get a significant haircut. I do mean significant, where they got, half or more of it cut off, where it actually looked better. I have yet to see that.
Well, I agree. I think longer is prettier. It's just a lot of work. But either
It is
I
a
have
lot of
to
work.
say,
I agree with that.
yeah, and I just think that either one would be a lot of work. You have to make it look like something. You can't take the cop out. Oh, I'll cut it short and then do nothing.
Right.
It can still look like crap. It can still look beautiful.
Well, you have these short dudes where it looks like they just wash their hair and shake it, and that's it.
Right. All right, George, see you.
Okay, thank you very much. Wow, we got a woman caller? How about that? QAM, hello.
George.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back to the Indians just for a minute. I kind of have firsthand knowledge about some things with some of the Indians, and I've been to Connecticut and I've been to the Pequots where they're getting $10,000 a month as a dividend check, each one of them, and that's totally undeserved.
Yeah, that's a little much.
The Seminoles are getting $1,800 to $2,500 a month, and and the Hollywood Reservation is right in the middle of a city, so it's not.
It is now, not when it started out.
Well, I mean,
it was a swamp when it started.
Well, the Mitsukis are getting $10,000 every 3 months, and I've been to Arizona and I've seen the Navajo reservation, and that's a gorgeous place.
Right. I'm not talking about cutting them a check. I'm talking about cutting them a break, as in letting them do whatever they want on what little land they have left.
Well, they're going to. I mean, did you know that in Florida, that any time that the Seminoles or the Miccosukee buy regular land, that automatically turns into a reservation, like they did in Coconut Creek?
They were doing that. They're doing that upstate, up north somewhere. That's going on.
I mean, I think that. I mean, we gave the Japanese money for the internment camps. We gave, we're giving the Indians money. We give them their land back. I mean, we should be doing the same thing for the black people. I mean, we took advantage of them, during the 1800s. They absolutely 100% deserve
You're
something.
saying we should cut them a check?
Well, no, I mean, they deserve something.
I don't believe in just giving taxpayer dollars to all of these people for the simple reason that none of the people that are paying taxes right now were responsible for any of that crap. You know what I'm saying?
But I understand what you're saying. But however, I mean, they should be getting something, and we took advantage of them.
What they can get is a hand up, not a handout.
And let me tell you, I'm Jewish, and many a Jew had their blood spilled during the '60s, to picket for for the black civil rights, and unfortunately the blacks don't treat the Jews very nice, because they're the first ones to put the Jews down. I'm going to be.
I don't know. Well, you're generalizing, of course, but I know that you're talking about Farrakhan, who's a very anti-Semitic human being.
I'm going to be the first one to say that no matter what happens, I'm still going to love my fellow man, and no matter what color they are, and I'm going to tell you that, I mean, they deserve something. I may not like Farrakhan, but I would still, if he needed help, I'd give him my hand and help.
Okay.
And I wish more people would feel that way, and that's really what I got to say.
Well, God bless you, sir.
Thank you, George.
Thank you very much. 312-560 WQAM. Let me.
Here comes Speed Racer.
Oh, Speed, are you all right?
Uh-huh. Trixie.
You were wonderful.
Gort. 12:03, 560 WQAM. Hank Goldberg at 2 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock, Hank will be with Nat Moore. I assume that this is correct from this weekend. He hasn't come in and changed it. Then 6 o'clock, John Boog Shambi. We had to cancel the pool, by the way, and I just soaked up all the money. No, I gave everybody their money back. I gave you the money back, right? I'll give Neil his $5 and then Duff, and then I'll be even. I'll be able to take all those 20s once I get change. What?
I did ask Boog his weight.
Yeah.
And he said that at his heaviest, before he knew us, he was over 3, which means I would have
But
lost.
currently...
But at the time of the pool, he was not there. He wouldn't give a number, though.
Not there.
I would have lost.
Because I bet 3 even.
I think you would have lost as well.
Okay. Then at 8:45, we have the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants, and then, of course, Eddie the K from 12 to 2, or whenever the game's over, till 2 o'clock today on 560 WQAM, 5670560, and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hello, QAM. I don't know where you're calling from, but talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, listen, I was just calling about that comment you made about the flag there, the Confederate flag.
Yes, sir?
Yes. You know, I mean, the blacks, they have their black entertainment stations, they have their Miss Black America, they have their black this, they have their black-only newspapers, they have so much black-only stuff. Let the rednecks have their flag.
Well,
I mean, you know, that's so damn ridiculous.
With respect, sir, with respect, if your tax dollars were going for funding those things that you talk about, you wouldn't like that, would you?
What? I mean, funding for
in other
a
words,
flag?
Right. In other words, what you have to understand is this is a government building. The government is supposed to represent everyone. We're not talking about the entertainment industry or what you can fly on your own car. Nobody's going to make the flag illegal to fly it from your antenna or have a bumper sticker.
It's part of history. That's part of America.
I understand that it's part of history.
I'm
but
not a hit.
so was
I don't
segregation.
agree with it, but you know what? Part of this
You're getting awfully
country,
excited.
I know,
Sir,
part of this, you know what? Because I tell you what,
slavery was part of
everybody
history.
defends the blacks for everything. Do you watch TV nowadays? You know what pisses me off?
What pisses you off, sir?
I'll tell you what.
Please.
Every commercial where someone is in any slighted way derogatory, like stupid, or you know they show a commercial for a guy breaking into a car, it's always a white person.
You know why that
It can't be, because you know why? Because we just sit back and say, so what?
Sir,
But if it was a Chinese
here's
person,
what,
if it was a black person,
sir.
they would complain. Yeah.
Would you trade places with a black man? Would you?
Would I trade places with a black
I
man?
asked you first.
I don't know.
Of course
I'm not in the
you
shoes.
wouldn't.
Does that
You
does
wouldn't.
that mean that the white man has to be like looked down upon in every
Of course
commercial?
it doesn't. Two wrongs don't make a right, but the reason
That's
that
right.
because the ruling class is fair game. That's why that happens.
No, you know
People
why
who
it
are-
happens?
Why is that?
You know why it happens? Is because I'm just a freaking Hungarian American, and I don't have
And he said, "Who gives a?" And only I'm allowed to say that because I have the pre-bleeped buttons. The point is that it's a government agency. They're flying the redneck, rebel, racist, pro-slavery, we're going to go to war so that we can keep owning human beings flag over the Capitol. And if you want the black man to get on the same page as you, if you want the black man to stop resisting you and start rowing in the same direction you are, you've got to agree on what he's going to salute. And he's not going to salute that redneck rebel piece of crap. That's his opinion. I could give a crap more. I used to have, like I said, when we did the Rebel Flag Show, I had a Confederate flag shirt, which I thought was very boss. No sleeves, of course, in the redneck fashion. And I thought it was real cool when I had my really long-haired country boy hair and my Rebel Flag shirt and my hiking boots. I was good to go. I felt good about that. I mean, that was me because I was raised down here by crackers, and that was part of the lifestyle. We had Confederate flags everywhere. We had the sparkly, shiny, holographic stickers that I stuck on my notebook when I was down here. So, you know, obviously I don't share that opinion because guess what? I'm not black in spite of what some people would like to say. And by the way, it would be great if I was. I would be honored. Just think of all the advantages. I could dip into the United Negro College Fund. I could call people nigger. Just think of all the advantages if I was black. I would have a larger penis, but I'm not. You know, my spotty ass is proof, and so is the front end of it. But, sorry, I'll get to that. We're talking about a government agency. We're talking about a place where everyone supposedly is supposed to be able to go and feel like this agency, this building is for them, it's theirs, their tax dollars built it, it supports them. Let's just agree on one freaking flag. That's it, one freaking flag. And let's stop flying two flags already. And the state flags, and well, in Florida's one of them, according to the encyclopedia anyway. That's a hybrid of the Confederate flag, even though that was a blue X, and the Florida flag is a red X. Nevertheless, let's get a symbol that everyone can agree on and go on with our lives. I mean, it is such a petty little issue. If you want to fly the flag, get one of those giant flags. Get a flagpole 100 feet tall and get a giant Confederate battle flag, which is what the rebel flag is. The stars and bars is the battle flag. It's not even the flag of the Confederate nation, by the way. And fly it as big as life on your property. But the government agency is supposed to represent everyone, white, black, and whatever kind of mix, and spick and gook and everybody. QAM, hello. Hello, QAM. Goodbye, QAM. Hello, WQAM.
George.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the flag.
Okay, good. Me either. No, that other guy got me started. I don't patronize South Carolina because they're a bunch of speed trapping rednecks, and I have to slow my trip to North Carolina down considerably because I get a ticket every time I go 56 through their state. That's why I don't spend any money in South Carolina.
Yeah, but if you flew that flag on your car, they wouldn't pull you over.
You know what? Good point, sir. Absolutely a good point.
Well, who cares? I think your talk about Play-Dohs and trapeze is much more interesting than the flag.
Well, I'm not a material as far as that goes. We have to go and rack up some
Well, then you
stories.
need to go get some more material, man.
I'm telling you.
Take care, George.
Okay, thank you. That's it. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's somewhere. QAM, hello.
George.
Yeah.
Is this me?
It's you.
Okay. It's hard to tell who's calling because you're
I know. There's
taking
absolutely
places.
this thing doesn't work as it should today.
Two things. I love how quickly you get to your callers.
That's because I don't have any. That's because I only have two at a time.
Well, Neil says there's only 2 calls left on the board, and you call in, and it still takes 15, 30 minutes to get to
Because when
talk
he says
to Neil.
that, everybody calls in and the lines all light up. When I say that, nobody calls. So it's first come, first serve.
At any rate, it's a pleasure to talk to you. And as far as the flag thing and everything else is concerned, it's too late. When everybody aspires to become less than trying to become more, when all of our ethnic groups are chasing after a symbolism of being less, in other words, the way they're dressing, the way they're talking,
I agree that there's a group of people that have no interest in being a part of the mainstream.
In its sheer numbers.
And as a matter of fact, that's Ebonics. I was talking off the air with Neil before he called in sick, that's the whole Ebonic thing, that they know better. They were raised here. They went to the same schools as every other kid. They were sitting right next to me in school. English is my second language. I don't speak Ebonics. I don't speak it with a Spanish accent or anything. I learned it proper. But the point is I wanted to be a part of what's going on in the country, and they don't. They want to distinguish themselves. They want to put themselves apart because they don't feel that the mainstream is for them. And I'm for at least going halfway. I'm for at least doing everything on my side of the line to say, look, we're opening the door wide up. Here it is. Here's a flag that doesn't offend you. We're going to be nice to you. I'm not going to move out of the neighborhood. All you got to do is just keep your grass mowed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm willing to meet everybody halfway, and I think that, if everybody in the mainstream, whatever color you might happen to be, everyone who has slipped in and merged into the full flow of traffic, make an opening for the people, and then if they don't want to be a part of what's going on, then basically, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's the problem. All the people in the mainstream now, the sheer numbers of the kids and the this and the that, and I'm not prejudiced one way or the other. I could care less whether you're white, black, Cuban. It really doesn't matter to me as long as you're a good person. And the problem that we have is, the young people with potential, whether they be white, black, Cuban, are aspiring to be on the lower end of the totem pole. And all you got to do is watch the role models, the professional athletes that are getting paid millions of dollars, the professional entertainers, the singers, the this, the that. They're getting paid millions of dollars. They don't dress appropriately for an award show. They speak poorly when they have every opportunity to speak correctly. It's easy to be mediocre or less, and it's harder to work at being better or being something.
Okay, sir.
So Hey, appreciate the time, George.
No problem. What you said, 1213 560 QAM.
How does...
Oh, man.
I took a call from Ebonics. They said the future be bright for me. Now I can't get no job, 'cause I don't got no literacy. I was talking like an old Negro. Ebonics taught me how this way. Now I can't do nothing, but my heritage say that's okay. Changed my name to Shoot Road. Drive a deuce and a quarter in a Cadillac. I remember when I was stealing all the white man's cars, hanging outside the Belvedere bar, crying the blues about poverty. White devils got no job for me, and I thought Ebonics would give my life a change. Now I got to go and sell more crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine, crack cocaine. Crack cocaine, crack cocaine. Lordy, what a boring song. Ebonics makes me sound funny. Got nothing to do with literacy. Now I got to make more money. Labor food sounds good to me. I got plenty of nothing. Ebonics ain't getting me anywhere. Maybe I'll mug an old white bitch, steal a purse and full of hair. Then I'm gonna take some money, buy a stereo and a Frigidaire. I remember when I was stealing all the white man's cars, hanging outside the Belvedere bar, crying the blues about poverty. White devils got no job for me, and I thought Ebonics would give my life a change. Now I got to go and sell more crack cocaine, 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 crack cocaine.
1219 550 WQAM, and on the front page of Sun Sentinel today, at the bottom, there's this little graph. Do you see the graph from in there? See the you can almost not see the flat lines at the bottom, and then this red line over here where it's peaking, where it looks like the Matterhorn. These represent the males and females, black and white. There are 4 lines here between the ages of 14 to 17, and the murders that they commit per 100,000. Guess what that red line stands for? Those are the black males. The one that's peaking right through the top of the page there. Black males are 7 times more likely to kill than white males. And also black males and females are 7 times more likely to be killed by homicide than white males. In other words, in the inner city, they're killing each other. That's what's going on. Like I said earlier, evolution and just time will sort these things out. Because when you live in a crappy, violent environment, you will not make it to maturity. Do you know what I'm saying? Probably you'll be killed before you get to the breeding age. But then, of course, once you do get to the breeding age, you go nuts, which is this article goes on to say. And by the way, they're quoting, the main source of this article is T. Willard Fair, who is a 60-year-old black activist, by the way, and it breaks his heart. And he points the finger squarely on the parents, or the lack thereof, is why this is going on. He said you can't blame poverty because other poor people don't have this kind of violence. Other poor people of other ethnicities don't have the same kind of violence going on. He puts it squarely on the parents. Now, there was an organization, I don't know the name of it, I saw it on the news because some black activist groups were very upset at this organization. It was some kind of a family planning organization, and what they were doing is they were offering $500. My idea, they actually copied my idea, but my idea was $1,000, but apparently $500 will do it. $500 for women who would agree to be sterilized, to be fixed in the inner city. Now, they weren't targeting any ethnic groups. They were just putting it out there. Anybody who would agree to have their tubes tied or at least get norplanted, I'm not sure which method, which puts it off for 5 years, by the way, and then it wears off. We'll give you $500. Now, if you're a poor person, Joe Costello, what would you rather have, a baby or $500?
$500.
Well, apparently these people got attacked because that was a racist thing, is what some black activist groups were saying. They're saying, you're trying to buy our genocide. You're trying to genocide us out of existence by buying our sterility, is what some people were saying. Now, mind you, this wasn't going out to any black group. White trash, trailer park trash could have come up, Puerto Ricans, any other kind of spick. Anybody could have come up for that.
That goes back to people believing that having a child is a right.
Oh,
Poor people should be allowed to have children, too. We should be allowed to have...
luxury. Children are a luxury item. You shouldn't be having them if you can't afford them.
Trying to kill all the poor people.
They're expensive. That's why you get a tax break. And somebody called last week and said you should have to pay extra taxes, and that's a big controversial issue. The bottom line is every person, you get to deduct $1,000 or whatever it is now, because I haven't done my own taxes in a while. You should get whatever deduction per person, so of course your parents get that per kid. One thing that shouldn't be happening is we shouldn't be paying people to have children, which is the present system, where you get more money, the more children you have, more babies, more money. That's wrong. That's an upside-down system right there that encourages people to have children that they can't afford to take care of, so we have to take care of them, and then they grow up to have more children that they can't take care of, and on it goes.
And murder a couple of people along the way.
And murdering a few people along the way. Here's a problem that will sort itself out. It's real simple. You stop feeding the monster will die. It's as simple as that. You stop giving the monster food, the monster will either A, cease being a monster, and become a productive thing, or it will die. Either solution is acceptable to me, quite frankly, because I can't spare any bucks. I've got to go out and buy some Pokemon fossil theme decks. I can't afford to be feeding other people's children. My responsibility is feeding my child and making sure that her Pokemon collection is better than everybody else's Pokemon collection. Some kids over the weekend were bringing their cards over to the house to show them off. I feel so inadequate as a parent. They came with the thick, like 3-inch thick notebook full of everything, including the Japanese series cards. So thank you for the facts that I got from Roger. I'll be giving you a call, Roger, and I will be visiting you. And I'm not going to tell anybody who Roger is or where he is, because I don't want anybody buying up all the cards that he has. So I got to go down there and take care of that. But anyway, yeah, that's what my money's for. I work for my money. I get to spend it on what I want, not other people's children. I wish everyone the best for them and their children, but if I have to feed their child, I'm sorry. And if you tell me, oh, but if you don't feed my child will die. Well, you know what? Your child will die. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. 1224. Here's somewhere, I have no idea where, but you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
It's appalling what comes out of your mouth.
Yes.
You're talking about human beings, God's children.
No.
Who gave you authority to be putting down God's children like
I'm not putting down God's
yes,
children.
Yes, you are,
no,
man.
it's my money.
You are
Understand
evil.
something.
Listen,
I work for my money. It's my money.
Listen, mister, you can't take nothing with you.
Uh-huh.
You just came here for a while, and we're going to leave this land. You hear me? And the best thing
Who's going to leave
do
this
is
land?
to have
Who's going to leave this land?
For other people.
Who's going to leave this land, my Jamaican friend?
Do you believe the white folks of this country can pay black folks for the hundreds of years they have them in slavery? They put them out to breed, that they can have children.
I didn't have any slaves. I didn't have any slaves.
Huh?
I didn't have any slaves.
Let me tell you something.
My family didn't have any slaves.
Let me tell you something. I'm a
my
black
family
man
just got here.
Look here. I'm a black man and I'm a proud
You're a
black
Jamaican man.
Yes, I am.
You people freed yourselves. What are you angry about? The Maroons freed themselves.
Because you know why? Let me tell you, I'm not angry. It's just the
You're
way...
not?
No. Let me tell you, it's just the way I sit here and I listen to you people talk on the radio all the time. This is the first time I'm calling. And then it gets to a point you say to yourself, damn, where are these people coming from? It's food. It goes in your belly today and it comes out in a couple of hours. It's all food.
Food.
Listen, God put this land here for everybody. And what one race tried to do is to monopolize
go out and get you some.
Monopolize it, hold on other people from getting a living, and then what you said, you call them names.
I'm not holding anyone from making a living.
Call them
no, I'm not.
Mister, listen to me. Are you Jewish?
No.
You're not?
Of course not.
All right. You ever heard of
I'm off the hook, apparently, from that
You ever heard of Haile Selassie?
Who?
Haile Selassie.
Amos and Andy.
Haile Selassie.
No. Haile Selassie, no.
From Ethiopia. He died a couple years ago.
No.
You heard of the Falashas?
The Falashas, yes.
There were some black people from Ethiopia that the Israelites went and picked about the Ethiopians.
Uh-huh.
let me tell you, mankind is coming from that generation. And let me tell you something, mister. Get your heart clean because your heart is dirty. You hear me? Your heart is dirty. And unless you cleanse yourself, you won't know about other people. Because people are people. Not everybody born
not if they want my money, they're not.
In their mouth.
If they want my money, they're cold.
I am a poor man, and let me tell you something. I walk on the street, I see white folks, black folks, and if I have $1, I say, here, go buy some food. With no
great. There we go. I'm going to give
it.
everybody your phone number. Thank you very much, sir. Everybody go over to this guy's house. The food is on him. Me, I work for my money. It's for me to spend. And if I'm going to give it to somebody, it's going to be to help them out temporarily, not to bankroll them for the rest of their life. I've shared my resources with friends and family and people in need because I knew that there would be a return at some point, not just to piss it away. But thank you very much for calling my good Jamaican friend, and welcome to America, by the way, the land of the free and the home of the Knave. 1227 on 560 QAM.
Yeah, man.
Jamaica, 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 Jamaica. Vena mola mola landa zitera fine. Jamaica, 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 Jamaica. In the hockey werden in Jamaica, the sugar werden in Jamaica, kick a killer in Jamaica. Vena mola mola landa zitera shine. Rasta me, Rasta you, Rasta black, Rasta Jew, Rasta Jew, oi, Rasta Jew. I say I and I say wo yo yo. Oi! How come you don't wear dreadlocks? I'm not that orthodox. I like Jimmy Cliff. And I like to smoke a spliff. I like my bright. I am a Yiddish type of guy. Rasta me, Rasta you, Rasta black, Rasta Jew, Rasta Jew. Oh Lord, yes, Rasta Jew. I like goat soup, and I ride a motorbike. Chicken soup with Canada lamb, that's what I like. Have you ever tasted red fish, rice and greens, plantain and gefilte fish? That's much more my speed. Rasta me, Rasta you, Rasta black, Rasta Jew. Rasta Jew, I want to tell you, Rasta Jew. Oi! I'm dying over here. Rasta you, Rasta black, Rasta Jew, Rasta Jew. Yes, man, Rasta Jew. What are you doing? It looks like you're smoking a newspaper. That's a try to always keep your pants unbuttoned. Want to cook bananas? What are you crazy? Do you at least peel them twice?
So anyway, we were talking during the break. I'm sorry, 12:27. 20. Let me stop and regroup. 27 till 1 on 560 WQAM. I'm just getting all ahead of myself because I don't know what I want to say first. I really appreciated that last call. It was the best call I've had all hour. But we were talking about the population thing during the break. 6 billion people, and it's rising exponentially. We're all going to die unless, and I'm ready to go. I got my knives out. We turn to cannibalism. I'm ready to go. I got my recipe book going. Apparently the cannibals that they interview in Borneo, they say that we taste like pork. They call us long pig, humans long pig. because we taste like pork. We're a sweet meat, apparently. And also, like pork, the hams, our thighs are the best. And I'm ready to go. Spiral cut human thigh. Because that's what it's going to boil down to, or broil down to, as the case may be. Because there's too many freaking people. And the bottom line is this, and I know that I have a dirty heart, like that guy says, but the only thing that we have too much of on this freaking planet is people. That's the only thing that we have a surplus of. Everything else that you can name, water, trees, grass, minerals, you name it, we don't have enough of it. But people, we have way more than we need. And as far as we're all God's creatures, we're all human beings, no. My definition of a human being is someone who's taking care of themselves. Stephen Hawking can only blow through a straw. That's all he can do. That's all he can do. But every day, and he makes his own living, by the way, and he's an asshole with a big ego to boot. Just ask his ex-wives or ex-wife. I don't know how many times he's been married. All he can do is blow through a freaking straw. If that's all I could do, I would be the best goddamn straw blower thrower that the world had ever seen. Okay? But every day on my way home, I've got people shaking a cup at me who can walk, who can move around under their own power. I got these Cossacks over on the intersection, Sheridan and I-95 with the orange hats. Who the freak are these Cossacks? Helping people in America. You're not helping me, asshole. You're cluttering up my intersection. You're not even selling a goddamn newspaper. Beggars. Go to this other guy's house. You don't qualify as a human being just because you slid out of a twat. That doesn't qualify you as a human being. That qualifies you as a biological organism. And if you're sucking the life from me, if you're sucking the resources from my nation and not giving anything back, then not only are you not a human being, but you qualify as a cancer. Because that's what cancer cells do, is they take nutrients and reproduce, and that's all they do. That is what a cancer cell is, if you want to know the definition. What is cancer so evil? Why is it so evil? What does it do? It does everything that a cell does except whatever positive function other cells do. All it does is take nutrients from the body and reproduce faster than the other cells who are performing a useful function. If you can feed your kid, if you have the ability, the wherewithal, and the intestinal fortitude to work for your child, then you deserve a child. If you're not willing to work for your child, you don't deserve that child. And more likely than not, your child will perish. And that's sad and that's unfortunate, but you know what? Better your kid than mine. WQAM, hello.
I totally agree with you, and I want to let you know, I personally believe that
you have a dirty heart. You have a dirty heart, sir.
No, I don't. I think as an American, the Jamaicans, the Russians, the Hispanic, the Haitians that are down in Dade County have really messed up this place bad.
Okay.
That's why we're overpopulated down here and everybody wants to get out of here. And in reference to hope, yes, there is hope because I travel a lot and there's a lot of places, but I don't see why I have to leave. And as for that Jamaican fellow...
You don't have to leave, sir, and if you leave, it's going to make things worse.
You said it. As for that Jamaican fellow, he should concentrate on his own people that are coming in here that are racist, that are hanging the Jamaican flag. I think that's an atrocity when you come into another country. In some other countries, they'll shoot you or you wind up in jail. You don't wind up waving the Jamaican flag here. These people are ignorant. I've noticed that all of these people that are coming in from third world countries are uneducated, and that's why we have to put up with it. But I think that it's up to the politicians here to start dispersing some of these people, especially the Russians. You're starting to get a lot of mafia. I don't know if you saw this documentary the other day on Bury.
Yeah, sure.
Bury's a mafia man, guys.
All right, thank you very much. And these people keep trying to get that on the air, and that's not true, apparently, and I'll let Neil address that. 500 times people have got faxing about this whole Russian mafia thing and Bury's connection, which apparently there isn't any. It was a big trumped up story. I have no idea. I have no opinion, and I have no care about the Russian mafia and Bury, except stop buying all those strip clubs, you assholes. Hello, WQAM.
You know, it took the Jamaican guy to finally call you out and tell the truth about yourself.
About my dirty heart?
No, it's a fact. The guy was right. You're Mr. Negative. You have a way of twisting everything around. You never seem to get it together, but your attitude sucks. As far as you being on the radio, you shouldn't be on anymore. Yeah, truthfully.
Okay.
You and your wife should bang yourselves.
Okay. Thank you very much. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
You're on the air, sir.
Okay. First of all, you made a full point, and the problem with the thing is you have a population of 6 billion people on this planet.
Right.
And The problem is 97% of that 6 billion lives in countries that cannot afford them,
That's right.
such as India.
And
I mean, there is not a proud moment for India says I'm 1 billion people and every person has 9 or 10 kids and they are all in poverty.
Right.
That is the problem. The
That's
second
the
problem that I
problem.
have is with the medical establishment. For money or whatever, I'm probably going to sound ghoulish. And all these aids and so forth that we send around the world and they're trying to prolong life. Let me explain you something what happens. Prolonging life means there's going to be more people to feed. Let natural process of weeding out happen. Hooking up somebody to a machine on a ventilator because you want to hook them up for $250,000 in insurance money, keeping them alive on purpose, does not serve any purpose.
You said it.
Absolutely nothing. We have Ethiopia, we have problems, hunger and so forth. Listen, if right now, I know this is sound ghoulish, but 50,000 children die every day.
Right.
If they didn't, could you imagine what the population of this planet would be?
10 billion by now.
We have only 8 billion acres of arable land.
Right.
We're going to run out of room.
We're going to be
just
eating each
a matter
other. It's
of
going to be
time.
cannibalism, baby, and I want to get my cookbook on the market before anybody else does.
The problem is we have all of this money that's spent on medical things. We have not even scratched how to feed ourselves through using the oceans or whatever, or doing something else. But all we do is we have the church coming out and says, for me,
no birth control.
The Pope comes in, goes to the most poorest country in the world, in South America, and he says, contraception is no good.
Right. That's the thing. You'll go to hell. You'll go to hell if you put a rubber on.
I mean,
it's an evil man, the head of an evil institution, the most evil organization on the planet.
Any organized religion, to me, is a force. Whether it's Christianity, and I'm a Muslim, which is Islam, or Judaism, any organized religion that has a leader that tells you what to do, if you cannot think about yourself what is good or bad, then you're an idiot.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Got to run.
Nice day.
Thank you very much. I love the passion. 19 till 1, 560 QAM.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen,
Did I play this already?
Rambo 4 and 5.
We were just talking all the way during the break. I'm not going to play that again because I already played that. And so we were distracted talking about the 6 billion people and the crisis that is upon us because it's like that hurricane. It just formed out of nowhere and boom, it was right on us. It was actually a tropical storm by the time it went through. But this whole people thing, it's going to reach a crisis situation. And so far, the people who are starving and dying in masses from starvation, they don't have the resources or the guns or the vehicles, ships and airplanes and things like that, to go and cross the borders to get food from their neighbors, which is what's going to happen as soon as starvation hits the people that do have resources, like, say, God forbid, the Russians or somebody like that. When all of a sudden the food supply runs out, there are just too many people to feed. All of a sudden you're going to have people with food, people without food. The people without food aren't going to sit there and quietly starve to death, because when you're faced with death, you're going to do whatever it takes to stay alive and to feed your family. And it's going to become a crisis situation. There's going to be a chain reaction of hysteria when everything runs out, not just the food, the fuel, the everything. So it's got to stop. We got to stop breeding all these people. Across the board, by the way, but most especially in the places where the people can't afford to have them, like that other caller said. QAM, hello.
Yeah, Jamaican. That wasn't a Jamaican. That was Phil Henry, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, it's just going to continue as the years go on. There's going to be more and more immigrants sneaking into the country, coming by boat, coming in the belly of a plane. There's going to be no end to it because the population and the depression and the poverty in these other countries is going to continue. So the United States
Thanks
is just
to the
going
Pope
to be...
and the Catholic Church, largely.
Yeah, but it's just going to continue. I mean, it's not only that, it's the...
Even though we can't blame him for India, by the way.
Indian and Pakistanis and the Chinese...
Well, they're going to nuke each other any minute now.
In the meantime, anybody else is going to flee the country, and they're going to show up here. I don't know of any other country that allows people just to come and show up on their shores and hey, you're thrown in a dungeon in any of these other countries.
Not that I know of.
No?
No, not that I know of. God bless America, sir. Thank you very much. Stating the obvious. QAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Jorge?
All right.
Hey, I can't. I'm a driver, a limousine driver, and I'm on the road all the time. And to get off at these exits, and you have these people coming up to your window, who are walking, probably walk more than I do.
Or able-bodied.
Able-bodied, probably getting some kind of state money as it is from whatever. And the ones, the sad part is the ones that are handicapped, you can see, I can.
The only ones that I have any kind of sympathy for are the veterans, especially the Vietnam
that are
veterans.
missing a leg, that are standing.
Right.
I mean,
not
I
because
can
they're
understand
physically
it.
handicapped, but because of what that did to their heads.
Right.
And we have yet to really come square with those veterans, with those
Right.
Vietnam veterans. They shouldn't be begging.
But my perfect example, I was down in South Beach Saturday night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Gentleman walks up to me, who's walking, of course, and asks me for money.
Right.
I went to another gas station like a couple miles away. I had to stop for, my customers and get them something else. Same thing. Right down by South Beach, and this is going on. It goes on everywhere.
I don't expect a handout from anybody. I'll do
No,
whatever.
I work hard.
If all I can do is dig a ditch, then I'll dig a ditch for money.
I'll never, like you said about kids, I have 2 children right now. And you know what? My kids aren't going to have to worry about anything because I'm a hard worker.
That's right.
And that's the way it should be. You shouldn't have to ask for nothing.
That's right. I mean,
if you can go out and
if
work.
the hurricane comes and blows your house down, everyone should be right there with you, chipping in to help you, fix your house and fix your roof because you're good for it, because you would do the same thing for them, because you're a contributing part of society. You're not just a suck hole of life and resources.
What are you going to give me next?
Right.
That's the worst attitude, and that's the way it is.
Amen.
That's the way it is.
Thank you, brother.
Everybody wants to see what you're going to give them next. Why is it when you drive through some of these neighborhoods that are in such bad, you're going to tell me these people can't paint the houses, clean their yards up, and make it look better? Don't say you live in a lower class neighborhood. Make it an upper class neighborhood. Try.
That's what Chris Rock said.
That's right. You need to try. If someone, you know what? I got more support for somebody that tries than nobody that tries at all. Don't ask what I can get next. Say, what can I do to help myself get better?
Thank you, sir.
And that's all you should do.
Okay.
Hey, have a great day, George.
And I'm doing a great job. That's what he was going to say, right? Or was he going to say I suck? As a matter of fact, right before he said,
I am hungry.
He said that. He said, just because you're poor, that doesn't mean you can't pick up the garbage in front of your house. Just pick it up, put it where the garbage goes, and no more garbage. It's as simple as that. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about, the shared resources thing. And by the way, this goes back to the Cubans on welfare thing. Like last week, we even had a couple of calls. Some guy was calling the Cubans freeloaders, which I understand. And like I explained before, when you piss people off, they're going to make stuff up about you. And if they hear a bad rumor about you, they're not going to quash it. They're going to spin it right along, right? Finding a Cuban on welfare is like finding a Democratic Cuban as opposed to a Republican. Good luck finding one. Maybe there's a couple out there. Maybe. I've never heard of one. Never heard of it. I don't know about these come-latelys that are washing up. Don't know about them. That ain't my people. I'm in, it was one of the first 2 ways. I'm just talking about my own. But if you want to just settle the argument once and for all about who's on welfare and who's not, just cut it off. Just cut it off or put that 1-year, 2-year time limit, and then let's see who shows up at the office banging the door down with a battering ram. Who's going to be taking 2x4s to the doors of the establishment? In a lot of little towns all the way across the nation, it's going to be white people, lily white people with blonde hair are going to be showing up battering the doors down because that's the lion's share of the people that are on welfare, by the way, white Anglos. The majority. So let's just cut it off and end that argument about who the freeloader is once and for all. And just let it sort itself out. Let nature take its course like the other guy called and said. Not the one that said I had a dirty heart. The other guy. I'm trying to take these in order, so bear with me because I'm going to be really slow here.
The little yellow
QAM,
bar
hello.
up on the top.
Okay, I see. QAM, hello. I'll do it right next time. I'm talking to you, and they have no way of knowing that. QAM, hello.
George?
Yeah.
Concerning those 6 billion people, there was a TV show on yesterday, and it was about bacteria killing animals, and then it spread to human beings.
Right.
And it was something like E. coli.
Right.
And the scientists were going all over the world looking, trying to cure it. And the girl said 1 jar of this could kill every person in the United States. Anyway, the picture went on, and then the picture was over. And at the epilogue, where they write after the picture
I know what an
on the
epilogue
screen,
is, yes.
it said E. coli was not the scourge that people think it was, that actually it was a defensive mechanism by Mother Nature to keep the worst predators on Earth in check.
Well, Earth is a self-equalizing system, and this is what happens. Any animal, forget the humans, any animal that overgrows the ability of the environment to support it will face mass death. That's what happens. It's happened before. It'll happen again.
Yeah,
it's going to happen to us.
That's right. It said that it was actually sort of invented by Mother Nature to keep man in check from overpopulating,
the earth.
Well, she's pretty clever, that Mother Nature. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Let's go to line 5. Hello, QAM.
Hello, George.
Yes.
Hey, George. The only thing you're saying that we're running out of all these food and commodities and
That's
stuff.
not the only thing we're running out of. We're running out of everything.
But commodity prices are at all-time lows. Food production is at all-time high. People are living at the highest living standards they ever had.
Over here, and in Europe.
All over the world.
All over the world.
You can find pockets of poverty anywhere, but we're at all-time highs.
Sir, we are speeding towards the edge of a cliff with our foot on the accelerator. How many people can the Earth support? In other words, everything's fine. We have plenty of everything. We can just the population can just keep growing at the exponential rate that it is, and everything's going to be fine, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, sir. As the country gets more wealthy...
Are you a Catholic by any chance?
No. Okay. The number of kids a family has decreases. The number of kids in Europe is like 1.3 per family. As a country becomes more wealthy, they have less children per family. So the answer is more economic growth.
More economic growth. Did you see that thing on TV? John Stossel was narrating it about what the difference is between an economically successful country and an unsuccessful country?
No.
No? Okay, what's your answer then? And then I'll tell you what he said.
Well, they measure it by per capita, how much money they produce per year, and it's been growing across the world. I mean, every population has been living longer, better. Commodity prices are down. Fuel prices just recently went up because OPEC was producing so much oil.
This is the lull before the storm, sir.
Well, this prediction is not new. They made it in the 1850s. In England, a famous economist said that we're going to run out of food. He was terribly wrong. You got to understand, people produce more than they consume. So the answer is not less
here
people.
They do. So,
no, absolutely
so
not.
Okay, well, thank you very much. It's just pockets of poverty. That's all it is, okay? And all we have to do is, I guess, nothing, is what this guy says. What?
He seems to think that all the commodity levels or prices of commodities are low. Well, I can think of one right off the top of my head that is very high, higher than ever. How about property?
Yeah.
Space.
Right. We're running out of space. And we're destroying all of the habitats for all of the other animals. But mind you, there's some people that don't care about that. Never mind that they're part of the ecosystem which produces the oxygen. If you don't care about the animals, at least care about the fact that they're part of the ecosystem that creates the air that we breathe, and that without the animals, the plants will die because it's part of a closed cycle. But yeah, absolutely right. But basically what John Stossel said is where they have economic freedom, where the government doesn't mess with the economy, is where they thrive. Like in some European countries, in the United States to a certain extent, and then in the countries where they have major restrictions on business practices, like India, they have all this poverty because nobody can go into business without this 2-year waiting list of red tape that they have to go through to go into business, which is why we need Jesse for president, because he's socially liberal and financially conservative, which is exactly what the freaking nation and the world needs, for that matter. 4 till 1 on 560. What are you looking at me for? Isn't it break time? How can it not be break time at 4 till 1?
You go to break at like 12:59, and then we have 10 more minutes.
No, we go to break right now. 4 till 1 on 560 WQAM.
If you're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
The way I move around when I go to, I call the mambo movement number 2. On the toilet seat I swing and sway, to the mambo beat the radio plays. Knowing how to load and I'm all through, there's just one thing I got to do. A little bit of paper is all I need, so I can make my hiney nice and clean. I don't have to push, I'm in control. When I move side to side on the toilet bowl, I never have to spray, it comes out whole. It looks a little like a Tootsie Roll. I sway to the left and sway to the right, from cheek to cheek, and I'll tell you why. Not only are you burning calories, but you never ever get a big red ring. That's why big fat guys who can't use the exercise can have some fun when they do with the mambo movement number 2. Hey, look at me, Alan. I'm doing the mambo. Hey, well, come on, do it. You look like a wailing heat. Get up and stop it. Get it. Get out.
103-560 WQAM. It's the Dirty-Hearted George, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Neil will be back tomorrow, at least that's what he told me. WQAM, hello.
Hey, George, how you doing?
All right.
I have a comment to make about the people that are begging on the street.
Yes.
Okay, you know the ones that wear the red and blue shirts?
The Cossacks, the Cossack Foundation. Who are the people with the
Now,
orange hats, helping people in America?
Okay, this is exactly what that's about, okay? They have a company which opened a non-profit organization. A non-profit organization, you only have to give 5% of what you collect. You can pay officers of the company, of the non-profit, as much as you want.
Give 5% to what?
To whatever charity, which in this case is the people of America.
Right.
Okay, so what's happening is they have a couple of large buses. Okay.
Oh no, I see them. I see the buses come and they unload the people and they swarm the intersection, and it's all dirt bags.
Exactly. A friend of mine told me
with their little ID badges. Like, what the hell does that mean? Okay, you're you. Well, I'm so impressed.
They pick people up that are homeless off of downtown, and they offer them $4 an hour, and they tell them that somebody's in the corner watching them, not to even think about putting anything in their pocket because they'll be put in prison, blah, 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 so they're all terrified. So they're out there basically to make a little money.
Organized begging.
Exactly. So everybody out there has to know 100% that all that money is going nowhere. It's going into the pockets of the people that are running it.
I didn't think anything but. I don't give those people my money.
Now, George, I'm the one that called you about the Pokemon site. Did you go?
The site?
The store that I told your partner.
No, but I got another fax about another store. I might actually go to one of them today.
Okay, because that store that I told you guaranteed has 3 or 4 boxes. Because my cousin runs it. Let me tell you right now, they got 3 or 4 boxes.
Okay.
Untouched. Okay.
I'll check it out.
Great show.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 5670560. Here's line 5 on QAM. Hello.
Hey, George. How are you?
All right, sir.
Getting back to the population thing, the population of the world, I saw an interesting graph. I was at FIU a couple of months ago, and they had a graph up on the wall in the science department. And you probably know more about this than I do. You can probably...
if I don't, I'll make it up.
Well, I mean, you seem to be pretty well read, but the graph went back to the... I'm sorry?
Nothing. Go ahead.
The graph went back to the 1500s or 1600s, and basically it showed the line showed the population of the world.
All right, yeah, I know the graph you're talking about. It looks like a ski jump.
Yeah, from up till I guess the population of the world is about 1 billion, 2 billion, something like that.
It's a hyperbola.
And then when you get up to 1900, it goes up to what it is now, 6 billion. In other words, we've added like 4 billion people.
It's an exponential increase. The acceleration rate is accelerating.
It's amazing. I mean, I never realized that.
And in spite of what this other guy says, there has to come an end because we're dealing with limited resources. I don't care how big the world is and how good we are at growing food. There's going to be a point where the people exceed the Earth's ability to sustain them.
And in the next 100, I mean, people keep talking. I can't imagine what. I had a friend just had a baby the other day. I can't imagine what that child's going to be going through.
We were talking about that off the air, me and Joe. My daughter, I mean, if I'm lucky, I'll be dead before this thing comes to a head.
Yeah,
but my daughter won't be.
Or her kids or something.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
it's amazing. And the other thing, just briefly on the Confederate flag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an opinion one way or the other, especially in South Carolina. I think that's up for them to decide. But there is a revisionist movement going on. I mean, I remember just not too long ago, maybe a year ago, listening to a report on NPR about a movement in Louisiana to rename all the schools because one was named Thomas Jefferson High, and he was a slave owner. So because he, never mind he was the president, one of the presidents of the country and one of the framers of the Declaration of Independence or whatever, but he was a slave owner, so they took his name off the school. And
so was Thomas Jefferson, who was for the abolition of slavery way early on, even before it was popular. I mean, I think that that's getting a little bit too extreme. Forgive and forget and move on, but as far as the flag, that's not, you can't forget it, and while the Capitol building is flying it, right there, above everybody.
Well, I just thought I'd throw that out.
Okay.
Great show, George. Bye.
Yeah, there's extremism, to say the least, and I'm not advocating that, but you can't expect the black people to rally under a flag that is objectionable to them. We want them to rally under the American flag and get on the same page with the rest of us, don't we, Joe? Oh, he's leaning back, zoning out. Don't we? We do want that. 108. Here's line 1.
Hey, George.
2 a.m. Hello.
Well, it's not extremism because they're doing that with everything. Unfortunately, I mean, even in Dania, where there's a large black neighborhood. There was an article about 6 months ago where one of the ballparks there, a park that was named after one of the founders of Dania, was being renamed after a black gentleman that coached Little League there, because everybody said that the person that it was named after, the white man that it was named after, they couldn't relate to. He didn't mean anything to them.
Mm-hmm.
All he did was help found the city,
right.
know. And so it's not extreme.
Well, that kind of crap happens all the time, not necessarily for racist reasons. People, when they make a community their own, whoever the hell they are, they tend to rename things. Elementary schools, public buildings, things like that. When are they going to rename that J. Edgar Hoover building, by the way, since he was such a scumbag, as it turned out?
Yeah, well,
that's overdue.
Well, they're just they're changing history to suit themselves.
I'll play that bit for you later.
Yeah, please. Going back to your discussion about not enough food for the people. Well, I think there's more people because there's more generous people. People are having babies because regardless of their economical situation, they're being taken care of.
Right.
They don't have to worry about having children because someone's going to help them with that child.
In many cases, obviously there are people starving to death all over the world, but a lot of the people that would have starved to death, guess what? They're getting a care package.
I heard a national radio show the other day, and the guy was talking about, he says, if all the food in the world was distributed equally amongst all the people in the world,
mm-hmm.
we'd all be in a state of starvation.
No, that's not what I heard. I heard the opposite. I mean, there is enough food to go around right now, especially because we pig out and throw out a lot of food in the well-to-do nations. But that's not going to stay that way forever.
Well, anyway, George, thanks a lot.
No problem. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to burst his bubble there. There is enough food right now. We do have a distribution problem right now, not a supply problem, especially since food is a perishable thing, and canning it, making it non-perishable, is a big industrial endeavor. We don't have enough canning facilities to keep the food that we produce from perishing long enough to get it to the people that need it. But what?
And why should I have to pay for food when some starving bastard's going to get it for free?
See, the thing about it, and whether you believe in the force of evolution or not, it is a force. It might not be the best system in the galaxy, in the universe, but it's the system that got us to where we are right now, is evolution, survival of the fittest. If you can take care of yourself and take care of your kid, another generation will be produced. If you can't take care of yourself and your kid, you'll die. That's what got us to where we are today. That's what got us walking upright. That's what got us using tools. That's what got us building spaceships that are eventually going to take us off of this planet when the sun expands and burns us into a husk. I would like to think that the human race is going to last forever. I'll be dead long before it does, but before I die, as the lights are dimming, I would like to think that my life was, as a human, was part of a race that is going to be eternal, that is not going to die when the sun kills the earth. And that's what I want to happen. I want us to at least not destroy ourselves before we build that one big colony ship that's going to, seed another planet somewhere else. That's it. Because this ball is finite anyway. What the hell is he talking about? 12 after 1, 560, WQAM.
Am I to understand there will be no side dishes?
He'd be working in the fields and be picking cotton, then became a secret agent working for the man, CIA. And Slappy Watt was Lincoln. Oh yeah! Nobody know that General Grant was really out for Koto. Yo, 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 yo. We be reviving history. Yo, 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 yo. We be reviving history. It wasn't George, it was Denzel Washington. Tom Jefferson was George, and Weezy made the flag. She be mad with the weed. Al Sharpton was McKinley. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Nobody know that Albert Speer was really Nipsey Russell. Yo yo, yo yo. We be reviving history. Yo yo, yo yo, yo yo. We be reviving history.
116 on 560 WQAM, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line to talk to Dirty-Hearted George. Hello, line 6, QAM, hello.
George.
Yes.
How you doing?
All right.
George, actually, those people begging for money, they're probably making more money than the average American.
You know what? I knew a bum, let's call him a bum because that's what he was, and he was making about $100,000 a year because in an hour at an intersection he was taking an ungodly amount in an hour. Just think how many times the light changes in an hour, and he's making $1 to $5 every time the light changes.
Exactly. Let's say the light changes every 45 to a minute and a half on average, and 20 to 30 cars stop every minute. So that will make 1,800 cars per hour. Out of those 1,800, at least 10 to 20 people will give $1. So that makes $10 to $20 per hour.
I'm changing jobs. I'm getting myself a squeegee, bottle of Windex. I mean, not with Windex in it. I'm just going to put some water in it from the canal.
It's better than working at Burger King, McDonald's.
I'm telling you.
No wonder we're still out there.
Okay.
Okay, George.
Thank you very much. I hate beggars. I'm sorry. You could do something. If you have the energy to walk around an intersection, if you could wash windows at the intersection, then you can wash windows at a strip mall, right? The problem with them is that they don't want to do every day. They don't want to get up, go to work, show up at an appointed time. Kind of like Joe Costello. I'm just kidding, man. Hello, here's line 2. Hello.
Yeah, George.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Robert. How you doing?
All right.
First time caller, long time listener.
Yes, sir.
No, that's just a friend I'm meeting. I can't agree with you more. Okay. I mean, everything you said is absolutely true.
You don't like women with short hair either? Is that what you're talking about?
What's that?
You don't like women with short hair either? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I don't. I like that long, flowing blonde or brunette hair. But as far as commodities and supply and demand for food, the government subsidizes us not to grow food.
That's right. To keep the prices where they're at.
Right. And not only that, I mean, if they have a surplus in California, they'll go ahead and let it rot.
Right.
Well,
rather than drive the prices down, sure.
Yeah. Well, subsidize them, but take that food and send it to a third world country.
Oh, like I said before, it's a perishable problem.
Well,
we don't have the facilities to can all that food or freeze dry it or whatever the hell it's going to take to get it over there. There aren't that many Tupperware bowls.
I think there's technology they can use.
It's not a matter of technology. It's a matter of the resources. There aren't that many canning factories, freeze-drying factories, whatever, to get that food together. And by the way, bottom line is, why should there be? Why should we pay to get the food to the other side of the world where the people are already overcrowded because they don't use birth control?
I agree with that too. I mean, in China,
frankly, scum.
In China, you have to have permission to have children.
Right. If you have more than one per couple, they sterilize your ass. They tie your tubes for you.
And I think that's the way to go.
Absolutely.
And I heard you earlier talking about Pokemon cards and stuff.
Yeah.
I have two things for you that you may not know of.
Okay.
On the internet. You can go to TNC Universe, which have really good prices, or Japanime.com, and they come straight from Japan, or Early Adventures in the Pembroke Lakes Mall. Pembroke Lakes Mall has the best prices for booster packs and everything else.
Really? I was just over there, too. Damn it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
5670560, 120 on QAM. Don't go nuts. I'm not hitting the brake. Here's line 5. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
George.
Yes.
I just want to convey a message which is like, first of all, the hair. I believe that flowing, beautiful, long hair is beautiful.
Sure.
But tons of people look great with short hair.
I didn't say they didn't look great. I just said they looked better with the long hair.
Yeah.
Because, and again, you have to understand what started this, if you were listening Friday at all, which I can't imagine that anyone was, because they get these women with long, beautiful hair on these talk shows like Maury and Sally and stuff like that, and the caption is always, cut that overgrown hair. That hair's too long, chop it all off.
No,
you know?
Yeah, I understand.
That kind of mentality pisses me off. Overgrown. That's like saying over pretty. She's too pretty. Let's break her nose in 3 places.
Yeah. Okay, going along with the mentality, another thing that I am not agreeing with you today is that people in the third world and this, that, and the other, okay, they want to have tons and eons of whatever children, just let them have them. We don't have, in other words, the United States of America doesn't have to go and save the world, which is the agenda nowadays.
Exactly, no question. That's my only point. If they're going to have those children, well, then good luck feeding them. And if you can't feed them, as sad as it is, they're going to die.
Secondly, and thirdly, and lastly, or whatever, is that the universe is vast, George. Please don't torment your soul with the fact that the world is going to end tomorrow. You're going to be gone in a few years. Myself, I'm going to be gone in 2 years or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it's not like your
I don't torment my soul. I just like I like the human race. I like what humanity has accomplished, the positive things and what they can accomplish. And I'd hate to think that humanity would be snuffed out by their own stupidity.
Yeah, but we're so stupid. I mean, look,
we're so stupid, but I don't want us to be stupid. I'm trying to push it in the other direction.
Well, I applaud your generous effort.
I mean, I don't lose any sleep over it. Trust me, the only reason that I lose any sleep is because I have the runs in the middle of the night. I don't agonize over this at all, but it makes a good fodder for a talk show.
That is good, and I applaud it. But
sir, nobody's doing about it. We're getting a couple of those today. Those are good drops, actually, by the way. If they work out, I'll have to listen back and see if they're clean later on. Here's line 1 on QAM. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi there. I didn't know what line I was on.
Nobody does. Maybe, Joe, you should tell these people so they'll know I'm talking to them. Instead of they tell us the city, we'll tell them what line. Which is kind of a goofy system, but we got to do something.
Right, because if you just said Deerfield, here I am. Anyway.
There's no way we can't communicate with this phone system.
You've opened up
a bloody wound.
Yeah, you did, and it'll go on forever.
That's because of my dirty heart.
But listen, but it's good to hear this. Let me ask you if you've ever experienced this. You have people, abusing the food stamp system as far as I'm concerned.
No question.
And they laugh at me with, breast cancer, single, trying to make it with my chemo, not being able to work and juggling my child support for my daughter and I to make it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke for me. It's like, are you kidding? Because of the sum I get for child support. But anyway, I don't know if anybody out there has had this happen. You're at the food checkout line. They've got name products and go out and get $30,000 cars.
Yeah, that's an old cliche.
And plus, their mobile phones are ringing in their purses.
Right, and I've
What's
actually
up?
had neighbors. I've actually had neighbors, and everywhere that I've lived, whether it was here or in the middle of redneck America, neighbors who I've seen their house, I've been in their house, I've seen their beautiful gas grill, their beautiful cars, and then I run into them at the store, and there they are doling out the Monopoly money at the cashier counter. And I'm thinking, what's up with that?
All right.
They live better than I do.
It's true, and go out and get beautiful cars. I followed them out.
Sure.
And their nails are manicured, man.
Okay.
I mean, anyway.
Anyway, thanks for calling. We've heard your call before, actually. It's like it all started coming back to me. She called when Neil was sitting in here with the same kind of stuff. But good luck with the chemo, man. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a few things. I think when you were saying evolution, survival of the fittest, isn't that social Darwinism or Dwarism or something like that?
So,
but anyway.
It's Guarism, social Guarism.
Oh, that's it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It came
so
directly
regardless,
from Orcus Arungus. I love that band.
I'm so tired of people saying I'm insensitive because I don't feel for the homeless. But it's like, I feel
for the homeless, I just don't feel for the freeloaders. There's a difference there.
I don't feel for them. I think there's plenty of jobs. I mean, let's not even think about the third world countries.
There are. You can go anywhere in this town and see help wanted signs everywhere.
Exactly. I mean, so you have to work at McDonald's, or so you have to pick up garbage. It's work.
Right.
no matter what it is. And
you know
and
what? Because we have like a homeless guy that's just a few blocks away from where I live. He like sleeps out by the Cumberland Farms over there, and he's begging. And the people that are begging over there on the street corner, I guarantee you that it's this weekend, because I spent the entire weekend cleaning up after the hurricane, trimming and pruning and hauling branches and raking and all that crap. If one of them had come up and said, "Hey, clean your yard," I'd have given him $20.
Or how about when you got to put up your shutters?
Exactly.
You know how much people will pay for people to put up their shutters?
Exactly. If you can walk around the intersection waving a cup, you can do something productive.
And I also feel that, like, many of our parents came here with nothing, and my parents got here with nothing. They were able to put 3 of us through school, through college, and they made a name for themselves.
Sure.
So why should we help everyone? You got to help yourself, and everyone else has got to help themselves. If we start helping everyone, no one's ever going to make it anywhere.
I have no problem with the concept of helping people out in times of crisis, or giving people like a head start or a boost, or do you know what I'm saying? Give them a match so that they can start their own fire, etc., and so on. But as far as this whole lifestyle thing, that's got to stop.
I agree. Nice talking to you, George.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you very much. Love the ladies. I mean, the callers. I'm talking about the callers, right? I guess it's the time for the break. 126 on 560 WQAM.
Ambergues de boca son hechos de testículos.
If your party snacks taste like hell, this year at Christmas, serve cheeses of Nazareth. Your guests will say, "Holy cow," when they bite into these sinfully rich treats. And cheeses of Nazareth come in a variety of flavors, from jalapeno to hallelujah. Get the snack he would have liked, and the taste worth praying for. Cheeses of Nazareth. It's your salvation this Christmas. There's a Cheeses of Nazareth shop on Business Loop 80, right next to Chrysler Almighty Motors.
129, 560 WQAM. Neil will be back tomorrow. At least that's what he promised me. And hopefully this phone thing will work by that time tomorrow, because I can't imagine this going on, unless he just does a screenless thing and just punches them up when he sees them ringing. It is a very glitzy-looking window-based kind of a phone system thing, but nevertheless, if it would work, it would be a great deal. And by the way, I don't think the whole Soylent Green thing is going to be happening. I just think that it's going to be like Rwanda. People are going to take machetes out, hack off an arm, stick it in the fire, and off you go. People on a stick. That's what I think is going to start happening. Because, I don't even have to be starving to think about eating a human being. Like right now, I haven't had any breakfast or lunch, feeling a bit peckish. Some of the people walking around this building, over an open fire, apple in their mouth. Come on.
You're disgusting.
Nah, come on. It's going to be yummy.
Not this kid.
Good eating. WQAM, hello. Line 2.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right.
I heard you talking about long hair.
Yes, sir.
I love long hair, but my wife says that, she tells me I have a caveman mentality.
All right, then we're cavemen.
I tell her that's why I'm a caveman.
Wouldn't be the first time we've been called that.
That's it. Another thing, I understand, changing the subject, I understand you drive a 4Runner.
Yes, sir.
How do you like it?
I love it, especially, by the way, thank you for reminding me, during this whole flooding thing, for the second time, I got to drive past someone who was stalled out in the middle of a lake that was a road previously. And, I tried to be nice. I drove by as slow as I could so as not to kick a wake up into their car as they were trying to push it off the road. But, we got it because I wanted to go and take it to North Carolina, because every time I went up there with one of the Camrys, we would bottom out at some point or another, because it's four-wheel drive country up to get to the house. And, I just saw this guy jump into a pool from Real TV, and he made it. From like a 3-story roof, by the way. But I digress. But now down here, with all the construction and the flooding, I can't imagine driving anything else. I don't know how anybody got through our street without something like that.
Well, I have a 4Runner too. That's what I was saying. It's a good vehicle. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm on my second one.
Okay.
All right, take it easy.
Thank you very much. Yeah, boy. Ground level, never again. And I don't even care about the whole tipping thing, which, by the way, that's what would have happened if I had gone to see that concert on Friday night. I couldn't imagine going to see the Sarah Brightman thing on Friday night. We called twice. We called, I guess the latest time that we called was right about 6 o'clock, and I'm standing there with the phone, looking out the window, watching the trees just doing the deep knee bends and touching the ground. The palm trees would bend all the way over and touch the ground with the fronds. And I don't know how they expected anybody to show up. They said, "Oh yeah, the show's on, she's here, the production company, they're setting up the stage." They must have had 3 people in the audience, if that. They canceled the Bette Midler show at the last minute. They were showing that on the news. All these screaming queens were all upset. I was calling. They said it wasn't canceled. I came out here. I'm soaking wet. No straight guys go see Bette Midler, do they? I didn't think you're a big Bette Midler fan, aren't you, Joe? No?
Actually, I went to an event put on by Janina's work, whatever, and they were talking about Bette Midler, some for employers.
I can't imagine leaving the house and driving up to West Palm on I-95. They had all this nasty flooding and rain and wind up there in West Palm. How could they have gone on? What would happen if you're sitting in there? You brave the weather and everything, and you're sitting there, and she's in the middle of, the Phantom of the Opera or something, since that's what they keep playing on the commercial, and all of a sudden, poof, the lights go out, and everything goes out. How many people do you think would rush the stage? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hello, line 5. Line 6, sorry.
Line 6, George.
Line 6, sorry. 6. Dude, you know what? The print where it says line 6 is like a millimeter high on this new phone.
Listen.
It's a millimeter, Joe. Yep. It's a millimeter. Hey, blow the screen up as big as it'll get. Maybe that'll help. Click on the little plus thing, Mr. I'm new with computers. Go ahead, sir.
I'm not anti-Cuban. I called Neil last week. My son's grandmother came from Cuba.
Okay.
But I constantly hear this one theme. We came here with nothing, and then we put all our kids through college, and we did this and that.
Yeah, well,
and I heard you. Now I heard you say a long time ago when your family came here, you never got a check. Okay.
Right.
If you came over here with nothing, where did you live? Not you personally, but where did these people live? They had to be put somewhere, didn't they?
Me personally, we had an apartment rented and furnished for us by my family members.
Okay. Does everybody that come over here have family members that put them up? I mean, the first wave came over in the early 60s.
Right.
So there had to be some government assistance. Would you agree?
There probably was some initial government assistance.
Okay. But I never hear anybody say that. All I hear is the same story. We came over here with nothing, and we did this and that and the other. You know?
Well, that's the same thing with any other immigrant group.
Yeah.
Where did the Italians live? Where did the Irish live when they came over? Where did everybody?
Everybody had some form of assistance to begin with.
Everybody had a little, like a little starter, a little boost.
As far as the bums go, I know you like your Bible topics. And Jesus said we'll always have the poor with us. I'm not
dissing the poor. I'm dissing people that refuse to work.
Right. Well, you know, what I would do, like, and you see it on TV, if somebody says they're hungry, I'll take them and get them something to eat.
I'll take them and get them something to eat if they do something for me.
Right. No, I'll take them
if
to
they're
get
doing
something.
Yeah.
That's
and if they don't have to do much, clean my windows.
Yep.
You know, anything. Sweep the freaking floor. Mow my grass. I got the lawnmower.
I'm over by Bob Rich.
And
there's a whole gang here. I mean, a gang of bums. And it's a constant bumming fest over here.
Right.
You know, I look at them, and I wouldn't give them a nickel, because they go right in and they're getting beer. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Nothing wrong with drinking beer, but they don't want to do anything. They constantly
look. I can relate to laziness. I'm the laziest son of a bitch that ever walked the earth.
But you got to feed yourself and take care of stuff.
I'm not so lazy where I expect somebody to give me something for nothing.
Right. The idea of something for nothing sucks.
Yes,
that's
it does.
true.
And that's got to go.
Is the old man going to be back tomorrow? Not
yes,
that
sir.
you're doing a bad job, but
that's all right. I miss him too. Yeah, tomorrow.
No. Okay.
Okay.
So he's not physically ill. It's just
he is physically ill.
Oh, is he?
He's got the flu thing. So I hope he'll be better by tomorrow.
Get better, Neil. We love you.
Okay.
You're doing a good job, George.
Thank you,
Later.
sir. 5670560. What is it? I almost said hard-hearted. It's the dirty-hearted George Rodriguez. Hard-hearted Neil and dirty-hearted George. Here's line 2. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
That kind of works.
What's that?
Nothing. Just talking to myself.
I just wonder if you could do me a huge favor and just play something. You sound like
play something. Yeah, I hate the George. That'll be the new cart. Sorry, sir. You got to really work on the I hate the bird delivery, because that guy was great. If he called up and did an I hate George the way that he did I hate the bird, we would let him go and we would cart that up and make a bid out of it. But you really got to go far away. Hello.
Hey, George.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Got a ways to go. That's what I'm trying to say.
That guy was, those guys amaze me. They wait all that time on hold, and then they try and slip something in.
It's not a long hold time when I'm on the air, sir. Trust me.
Okay, listen. When you first came on the air, I have to admit that I thought you sucked.
Yeah.
But George, you're doing a great job. I love your show. I went and saw Sarah Brightman.
You saw that?
Well, we called. They said, I got home early. It was 6 o'clock. I called. They said, yeah, it's on. I called. We
you actually drove up through the through.
Well, I live in Lantana, and
okay.
It wasn't too bad. But at intermission, it didn't start till 9. At intermission, it was gale force winds. It was unbelievable, and I was getting a little nervous because it didn't look like you're gonna be able to drive home in it. And,
yeah, I was afraid of that too. And besides, we didn't know if at any minute now the water was going to start coming through the front door. It was right up to the front door.
Oh, I thought you meant at the Kravitz. It did come in the front door.
At my house. I didn't want to leave the house.
Well, it came in at the Kravitz, and what you just mentioned a few minutes ago about the power going out never occurred to me. If it had gone out there, people would have been diving off the balcony. It would have been,
Oh, yeah.
It would have been a
It would
disaster.
have been pitch black in there, right?
Oh, it would have been, but I got to tell you, it was a spectacular concert.
Oh, man, did she do Deliver Me?
Yes.
God damn it. No, I'm
And
pissed off.
She did all the great songs. She did Phantom as her last song, and then can't remember her encore. Now it just blanked out, but it was great. I didn't realize you were a fan of hers.
A couple songs, whatever. I saw the show on PBS. I didn't realize it was such a major production, so I wanted to see the show. And thank you, Barb from EMI, got me the tickets, and they weren't cheap. And unfortunately, there was no way that I was going to leave the house. I was hoping the show would be canceled so we could get a rain check. The bastards. Yeah. All right.
Too bad.
How many people were there?
George,
How many people were there?
It was not packed, but it was maybe 75% at intermission. A lot of people left.
Okay.
A lot of people left the intermission. One more thing, can I ask you real quick?
Sure.
Like the trapeze and those clubs, are they safe to go with my wife? I mean, in terms of not being rated and we're going to be on the news and all that. Is that
Plato's is the safest place that I know because they're in the city of Fort Lauderdale. They're out of the jurisdiction of Ken Jenny, who has the personal anti-sexual axe to grind against these other clubs. And so I've never heard of Plato's getting raided, and they're not afraid of that at all. So if that's a concern, that's where I would go. What is it?
Is that the one with your friend? Is that the guy who's always on the radio with you?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, George. Keep up the good work.
You bet. Thank you very much. 21 till 2, 560 WQAM.
Esa es la cingada manera cubana.
You won't get fired, you're sick and tired, believe when I say just stay home today. You're not in the mood, your boss is so rude and cheap. That's why I say call in sick today. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why this job was a big mistake. Tell me why don't you hear me when I say just call in sick today.
16 till 2, 560 WQAM, and that goes out to the old man, of course, who we hope feels better tomorrow and comes in. Unless, of course, these phones aren't working, and then I think I'll call in sick because I'm not going to want to have to deal with that situation. I don't know what we're going to do. So anyway, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hank Goldberg at 2, and then from 5 to 6, Hank and Nat Moore. 6 to 8:45, it's Boog Shambi, and then at 8:45, it's the Cowboys and the Giants, followed by Eddie K, of course. Here's line 5. Hello.
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 George.
Yeah.
I'm back just to tell you something.
Oh, one call per day, sir. One call per day, my good Jamaican friend, you. Line 1, hello.
George, you suck.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's it. I guess it's Japanese wind chime music since nobody wants to talk about anything. And by the way, the guy that already sent me the facts about eating children, I don't want to eat any children. The adults, please. Assholes, preferably. Not the asshole as the part. Assholes as the individual. You eat the butt, you eat the whole damn thing.
They're more tender.
That's chitlins, isn't it? That's where the intestines start. Eat some chitlins. But anyway, one time is enough. It was cute. It was mildly amusing. It's long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You don't have to fax it 2 and 3 times. It was long. The fax machine back here is grinding, not going anywhere because of this guy with his microscopic print. 14 till 2, 560 WQAM 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's line 6. Hello.
Line 6?
I beg your pardon? Line 6. What's you, ma'am?
Okay. I just have a comment.
Okay.
I get really annoyed when I see these homeless people on the side of the street with an animal, with a dog.
Eating it? Oh, no, with a pet.
No, not eating it. Yeah, with the pet,
Yeah.
For pity. And they're holding out the cup, and I'm And I went up to one once, because I'm a big animal activist, and I said, let me have the dog. I said, just put the dog in the car. You stay here. I'm not giving you any money, but give me the dog. And he, refused to give me the dog. Yelling profanity at me.
Dog. Yeah. He probably wants to eat that dog later.
Possibly.
I used to listen to stories from the bums that would talk about baiting cats with they would rummage through the garbage to find empty cans of tuna or sardines, and then bait the cats with that, and then they would hit the cat with a stick and eat cats. They're like the boxcar jumpers. Every once in a while you buy him a beer, they tell you stories. So that was probably his dinner for later on. You were trying to take the man's food away.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't want to hurt anybody.
All right, don't do it again.
Thanks.
Just remember, dog food. Dog. 5670560. Here's line 3. Hello. It's a pretty boring track, by the way. Line 3, hello. Clink. Nice talking to you, too. Boy, this is a freaking nightmare. It continues. Line 2 on QAM. Hello.
George.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Well, where'd you get that Japanese music?
Barb from EMI sent it to me. Some of these actually do have some drumming and some rocking. Well, not rocking, but it's on the Real World label. It's probably in the international section. Joji Hirota.
That's his name?
That's his name.
Georgie Hirota?
Not Georgie. Joji. Joji.
Joji?
Joji Hirota. Hirota.
All right.
Okay?
All right. Hey, George.
What?
Tell Neil to stop listening to the Backstreet fags.
Okay. I'll tell him. I don't think it's going to work, though. Here's line 4.
Oh, God, George, that was so funny, man. Listen, this is the same dude that called you up the other day to ask you if you, if you got the fear factor in the system and this and that.
Oh, yes.
Did you ever get around getting them?
No, we had other things to deal with this week or this weekend.
Did you hear the new Limp Bizkit?
There's a new Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, it's called Significant Other.
The track or the
No, the whole album. It kind of there's a couple rockin' songs, but it's kind of like on MTV they play that video Rearranged.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of slack.
Yeah.
But some of the tracks are pretty cool. Don't compare to the first one though.
No, they never do.
Yeah.
311 did that.
Well, you know what? 311 they used to be really good, like their first album.
Exactly. And then they fizzled out, like they shot their load.
Yeah, man. Another thing, being black-hearted or whatever the hell these people are
dirty heart. I got a dirty heart.
Listen, man, being homeless, I was homeless at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, if you ain't gonna work for it, you ain't gonna get it.
That's it.
When I was out there asking for money, I would, okay, well, you want me to wash your window? You want me to fix your flat? Whatever, blah blah. I'd hustle it, I'm
not talking about a formal job. You don't have to have a formal
job.
I just offer to do something.
Like if you're living on the street, you see some guy with a flat tire or something, go help him change his tire. You never know, like, I might give you $20 or something,
Hey, I broke down and I needed to help, and some people pushed my car off the side of the road and gave me a hand. I gave them some money. They were, obviously, homeless or whatever the hell they were.
You know what we should all do? We should all get guns and just shoot these homeless people.
All right. You said it, not me. But that's what that article says. Well, it's not the homeless. It's just the black people are killing other black people. So, people worried about, the black people and the violence, it's mostly happening to them. So what am I talking about? Absolutely nothing. Here's line 1. Hello.
They should pay people to bang your wife because you are...
Okay. New Yorkers, people that can't say the Oz. I'm going to do a whole show one day about people that can't speak